Hello, and welcome to another episode of High Rollers Dungeons and Dragons. My team are trying to throw me off, as always, but it didn't work this time. I am the Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. Mark Humes. It's not Matt Humes, by the way. This comes up quite a lot. My name's not Matt. I'm Mark. Anyway, these are my friends. Shut up.
Hi, Matt.
It's another thing. It keeps coming up, and it happened recently where somebody was just like, what about the other great Matt at Sherlock Humes? And I'm like, my name's not Matt. Why? Why? Anyway, it's a small rant off my
Matt
chest.
Needs to calm down.
Welcome, friends. Welcome everyone to another episode of High Rollers D&D. There's only one thing to talk about before we jump into the recap this week, and that is to say a big thank you to our returning sponsor and our good friends, D&D Beyond, Chris Trott.
Oh, yay. Wow. Thank you, Mark, as I just got logged out of the script I was about to read. So here we
Google
are,
Doc.
padding time. I just want to apologize for my hair.
What do you mean?
You keep going
It's
on
not
about
finished.
it.
It's not finished.
It's not
okay?
finished. It's not finished.
It's not finished. I did it at home. I didn't do it, actually. I didn't do anything. I just sat there. Anyway, boy, D&D Beyond just keep delivering above and beyond, don't they, guys? Don't
I
they?
get it. I get it.
Nice.
Not only do they have the best digital tool set to create and manage D&D 5th edition characters, campaigns, and more, not only do they've got every source book imaginable from D&D 5th, making it super easy to search through and play using a search bar. You can't get that in a book, can you? Not only have they also recently got super fancy 3D digital dice to both collect and also roll directly onto your character sheet just by clicking the relevant abilities and spell checks and whatnot. But that's not where they stop. No, D&D just keep giving you free stuff, more stuff, announcing a thing that rhymes with Fleet Dandy Blancmange, Flaya Blap. It's the D&D Beyond player app. Everybody, woo!
There it is.
I actually can't. I can't deal with that rhyming thing. That was just so bad. It was so bad.
Show it
through
off.
to his brain.
Show it off.
Show it off.
There it is.
There it is.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Available
you can
on
just scroll
the
and you
Google
can
Play Store
swipe
and the
around.
Apple Store as well. Please go check it out.
very
It is
nice.
absolutely free. But you know what? I can't give it justice. So let's let D&D Beyond show you what this app is all about with a nice video. Here we go. Ding dong.
The D&D Beyond player
Ding
app
dong.
places your Dungeons and Dragons
ding dong, ding
characters
dong.
into the palm of your hand. Access your character sheet
Shut
and browse their stats even when you're offline. Choose your spells and
no
actions
music
to
drop.
master your class and plan your next turn.
We're making it more
Track
epic.
hit
Bleedy
points, spell slots,
blancmange.
conditions and features
Bleed,
to make
bleed,
playing
bleed,
D&D
They can
hear it,
smoother
okay?
than ever before.
Flaya Blap.
This is beyond pen and paper. This is D&D Beyond.
Why are we singing Pirates of the Caribbean?
Well, there was no music. I was making it
was.
epic.
To
honest,
There
It was
wasn't.
for them. For the
Well,
audience.
oh.
So
And you talked
Sure,
all over
put another
it.
one in
Very
there.
embarrassing. Thank you,
Sounds like a
D&D
you problem.
Beyond.
why not?
Thank
Sounds like
you,
a tech
D&D
guy
Beyond.
problem.
Thanks,
you
Fleedy Blancmange.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
D&D Beyond.
B&B.
Fleedy
B&B.
Blancmange.
There is
Keond.
Please. There is a link in
Oh, is that
chat.
annoying, Trot? Is it
There's a
annoying?
link in chat.
Go be like that.
Hold on 1 second. All right, there we go. Just gonna mute. Oh, they can't fucking speak. It's all me. Please check out the link in chat because that helps us and it helps D&D Beyond track how many of you guys check out the D&D Beyond app. So please use the one in chat. Thank you very much. I will slowly re-enable the people in order of favorites. There they go. None of them spoke. So they don't know what priority order I
Yeah, I did.
brought them
No, we
back
haven't.
in.
No,
I'm assuming I'm still muted. I'm assuming that no
you're
one
there.
can hear me.
You're all good.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's
there we go.
back. D&D Beyond, everybody. They're our favorite.
There we go.
They
They
sponsor
are
us
wonderful.
for this kind of stuff, though. It's fine.
I
mean,
like to think that they
it's
don't
part of the
realize what Trot does.
Yeah.
Oh
What do
no,
you
no,
mean?
I'm sure they're aware. Like
What
I
you
think
did
that,
to my
that Vex has
sponsor bit.
regular reports with them on like how things are going. I know that the dice was a particular high point, so I mean, if that's a
Okay.
high point, then we're fine. We can't
fine.
really go
Just send them
lower
gifts
than
of the
that.
dice.
Yeah.
Send them gifts of the
That's it.
trot dice. Oh, look who hasn't been
look,
unmuted
Tom's still
there.
muted.
Like, who's definitely not the favorite.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Unmute him. Unmute him. We need him. We need him to speak.
He did
Or
it
has he done
himself.
this to himself? He's done
Yeah,
this
he's
to
done it.
himself.
Yeah.
He did
Got
it
him.
himself.
I was like, it's one of two things.
Da, 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 da.
All right, okay. We know you've watched Hamilton.
Gone.
Yeah, we get it.
He's gone.
Well done.
Oh.
Right, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Right, enough of this chaos. Enough of this chaotic mess. Let us play some D&D and do some dun-duns.
I've got a quick announcement.
Okay.
There's a fan art video. It will
There
be
you
played
go.
at the end.
Oh.
Amazing.
At the
Yeah.
end. Perfect.
Awesome.
Correct.
Wonderful.
All right,
Until then,
let's
please
get the
enjoy
show on the
some
road.
dun-duns. Yes, let's do it. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Ding dong.
Ready.
Dun.
Welcome back to Aerois. Last time, our heroes traveled to Azagrat, the pleasure planet of the multiverse and ruled by the perverse and sadistic Gratz. Hoping to defeat the Demon Prince in a game called the Dance of the Sixth Finger, our party challenged Gratz in the Argent Palace. He welcomed the challenge and presented to them the Taroka game, a card game using fortune-telling cards from Strange World, and Quill, Lucius, and Captain Thalia all staked 200 years of servitude against Gratz, who offered a ring of 3 wishes if they won. Each side took turns revealing a card from the board, scoring points based on its position, with Quill having picked his team's final card using the Eye of the Storm and pushing them into the lead. Only one card would secure the win for Gratz. Sure enough, Gratz revealed the reversed broken one, an instantaneous loss for the challenging team. And in frustration, Quill summoned the Eye of the Storm once more and revealed that Gratz had the cards enchanted with a special mark he could see with true sight, though even Gratz himself had not known the card's final position, giving him a 50-50% chance to win or lose. Ayla and the others attempted to call Gratz out as Lucius and Quill and Thalia were being taken away by demons. However, a mysterious angel contacted them and warned them against fighting the Demon Prince, instead encouraging them to retreat and help their friends escape instead. The party split. Both sides fought desperate battles as Lucius, Quill, and Thalia attempted to escape their demonic guards, while Sailor, Sentry, Ayla, and Nova rushed to the rescue. Reunited, Nova created an arcane gate to get the party out onto the main streets of Azagrat, but in a fury, Gratz has turned the attention of the city onto them. Can they escape the Demon Prince's grasp? Can they rescue the imprisoned wild elf that might hold the key to Ayla's past? We will find out. Tom, you may now laugh at me mispronouncing a name.
Sailor.
It sounded like a ship
Sentry and
name.
Ayla.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's a ship
yeah,
name.
great. Yeah, I know you do, Tom. I love it when I mess up names and all I hear is
No,
like
I've
desperate
never
laugh. I'm
considered
like
it.
trying to do it.
This
I'm trying to
ship
keep it straight for
sailors
your
herself.
podcast intro, and it's just like
Carry on.
It's just like I can hear it as soon as I do it, and I notice I've said it wrong, and I hear you. I'm like, I've just got to keep going. I've just got to keep
I
going.
tried to suppress it.
I know you did. I know you did. I appreciated it. I appreciate it. I heard Trot going in the background as well, but I know you tried.
It was Tom that set me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nail
Tom
slash
laughing
Ayla.
and
Nailer.
look,
Anyway,
the dyslexia comes out and it just merges words together. That's how we get to the markisms. Sailor.
great.
Right. With that, the scene.
We don't need
is...
more. We don't need more ship names. Like, chat can manage that on their own. We don't need you to fuel them, Mark.
No. Well, I mean, I do fuel them just simply by not saying words correctly and just being like, yeah, just having cotton mouth. Right. So the setup is as follows. I believe that the last time we played, the party had split. We had Nova and Ayla heading towards the Theatre of Steel to rescue Rethra, the wild elf that you had met before, whilst the rest of the party were going to make their way to the ship. But we did also end on a bit of a kind of Gratz plastering your faces across the city of Zelatar and the area that you are currently in. You are welcome to kind of double back and kind of have on second thoughts, maybe we shouldn't split up. But if you want to continue as you are, you may continue as you are.
What does that mean, Mark?
That doesn't mean anything. That means exactly what I just said. That if you want to double back up, because like when we end the episodes, obviously I end them for very dramatic effect. I have no problems with you guys saying, actually, we want to recircle back up now that this ominous threat has been posted amongst the city. If not, we'll just continue on as normal.
The split was basically Ayla just running forward with whatever incredible speed she has to get the.
Well, Nova, no, because
right?
Yeah,
Nova said she was going to go with them.
But then our faces got posted all over the city, and
Yeah.
that'll stop the
like-
person in their tracks probably.
I feel like that happened though. So
It did happen.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can't double back. Like, once you're not on a railroad, you can still turn around. The main thing here is that currently you are on a big, busy street that leads from the Argent Palace to the Astral Port. There are a lot of people. The commotion that this announcement of Gratz's has caused a stir. You guys all stand out. They are currently split into two groups. One, there are streets between you. You can try and meet up, or you can just carry on as you were. What do you guys want to do? You probably have a few seconds to decide, because people are going to start noticing you and pointing you out, and you don't know what's going to happen when that does. Right now, everybody's attention is driven to this message that's just been delivered through the city. Everybody's looking at these polished walls. Every surface of every building is polished to like a mirror-like sheen, and on these mirrors, you're seeing illusions of yourselves popping up as Gratz's voice echoes. Bring me them. Bring me them, and I shall see you rewarded. Yes, Chris Trott.
When we were taken to the arena to play the card game, we were stripped of all our stuff, right?
No, that was taken from you. That was taken from you when you were when you lost the game, and you and Tom said that you grabbed your stuff back. I think otherwise you wouldn't
double check.
have been able to cast spells and stuff.
I think Lucius would instinctively messenger ring saying, "Oh no! Everyone, gather up and get to the ship immediately. There's no time."
Nova, I think, would I'd be running by with Ayla. I'd probably just say, I can cast invisibility. I've only got 2 charges left. It's your call, Ayla. I'm with you if you need me.
I can't put anyone's lives at risk for this. I've lived my whole life not knowing anything about this planet. How am I going to convince some random person to come with me anyway? We should run. We should run.
Smash and grab. Smash and grab. We could.
your call.
It's in a building full of fighters.
You can see the theater is, a couple of streets away.
I can make us invisible twice, Ayla. That's what I've got.
Streets are packed with all sorts of crowds. You can see citizens kind of shuffling around. People are starting to kind of look around, whispering to themselves.
Do it. Make us
the main
invisible.
group.
Okay. I'll immediately
two of
reach
you-
out and I'll make us both invisible. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the two of you vanish from sight. Nobody around the two of you seems to notice you were there. Either they can't see invisible creatures or they're not paying enough attention, but you manage to kind of blend in as you begin making your way through the streets. What are the rest of the group doing? So we have Lucius, Quill, Sentry, and Thalia all together. What do the four of you guys do? You have this busy main street full of shops and crowds, street performers, all sorts of demons and fey creatures, a couple of giants, humanoids, orcs. Like, it's just a mishmash of all different types of citizens. And they are beginning to now look around and start to wonder what's going on. It won't be...
So this
you've
group-
got seconds before you're recognized.
Yeah, and this group is me, Lucius, Sentry, and Thalia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can make Sentry invisible. Sentry's huge. She's very spottable.
Okay, you do that?
Yeah, I can use that with the Dusk Willow ring.
Okay.
And we've all got Glamour Weave now as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Glamour Weave isn't like disguise
It's
self,
clothing.
though. It won't...
No.
It's clothing. Yeah, so you can make your clothing
know,
look
but-
different, which is
That's the
a
thing.
start.
I almost want to change it. So how quickly can it change? Because I almost want to not camouflage it, but like as I'm running past a gold thing, it goes gold. If I'm running past a red thing, it's red.
You'd basically be concentrating on a spell if you did that. You'd be constantly in your mind, like, looking at your own environment and changing it to match that. It's basically an action to change it each
Yeah,
time. So-
I know it's not a huge amount, but it's at least better than
Something.
arrows that Lucius has right now.
Yeah, I do.
It's
me,
bright
everybody.
glowing arrows pointing to you.
I'm the criminal. Here's all my friends. Yeah, I'll be changing my Glamour Weave to like a drab color, like a grey or something like that. And panicking. Mostly panicking, looking to Quill, Sentry for guidance.
Okay.
Okay. We should try and buy this some time, at least. I'll cast a Bless at level 2.
On this group that you currently have here?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Do you make Sentry invisible, Quill? Or...
Yeah, I mean, she's huge compared to all of us. So,
Okay.
yeah.
They've taken
Can
us.
you...
Sentry's gone. Where is she?
Invisible. She's
No,
invisible.
I'm still here. I'm still here, Lucius. I'm here.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Can you cast it
Okay.
at high enough level to have more targets, Tom?
I don't think with the ring he can't, no.
Oh, is it the ring?
Yeah, I
Can't.
just
It
cast
can't-
it.
it
I
casts
cast
it as a
at
base level.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sentry disappears, but Quill, Lucius, and Thalia is a Medusa. People glance around, and they kind of have been avoiding her gaze anyway, because obviously she looks like a Medusa, and people are like, not going to look at her. But there's still people are now like, hey, you can hear whispers of like, is that them? They are the ones that Lord Glass is looking for, and they're kind of like pointing in your direction. The Glamour Weave is really only going to change your clothing. It might buy you some time if you start running, but people are starting to point out.
That's
you
not
hear,
them.
like
They don't have the
calls.
right clothes.
Yeah, exactly. There's still a birdman, a pale elf with long blonde hair, and a Medusa. You guys still somewhat stand out. So what's the plan? Like, where do you run to?
Okay, I'm going to follow the direction of one of the other, like Quill. But if too many people get too close to us, I'm going to reactively cast Hypnotic Pattern
Okay.
on them to try and stun them for a second.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
It doesn't cause any
I was
damage.
thinking of doing a similar thing. If, like I say, if we run, can I cast Blinding Smite, but like use my sword to like smash on the ground and cause like a blinding light to reflect off all the mirrored surfaces?
Does the blinding effect hit the creature that you hit, or is it like an area burst of blindness?
It's a radiant damage, so yeah, and it's a
it'd
con
probably
save
be just
as well. So yeah, it would be target.
So it'd be against whatever creature you normally hit. So I'd say you can definitely do it. It won't be that bright to hit a big area. It will only affect quite a small area because it normally only blind the creature that you strike directly. But with the mirrored surfaces around here, it would radiate out enough that maybe a few creatures will be caught in it and things like that. Yeah, you could definitely do something like that to buy yourself some time. So it sounds like Quill's making the decision of where to go to. I mean, Thalia is also like, it's this way, it's just one long street, we can just run for it, and is pointing in that direction. There are lots of side streets, but this is what Sentry, when you were coming down into Azagrat, you saw that the side streets here are these labyrinthian mazes of narrow little side streets and corridors. Without knowledge of the city, it might become quite easy to get lost in them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if people are taking this long to react, like, to us from seeing the picture and then looking at us...
No, this isn't taking a long time. This is like 6 seconds. Like, you guys have had 6 seconds to do stuff.
What I mean is, if the moment we get into a new crowd of people, each 30 feet we move down this crowded thing, people are going to be like, hang on a minute, that's the guy. By that point, we're 30 feet away. That's the guy. Then we're 30 feet away.
Sure, if you want to think that, sure.
I mean, we'll try the main road for now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, Quill and Thalia start leading the way down the main street. And yeah, it does not take long. Whilst this group is kind of recognizing you, as soon as people start calling out, you start hearing like, it's them! They're the ones Lord Grutz is after. That begins echoing down the streets. People begin shouting down. People further ahead of you start hearing and turning in your direction, seeing you running. And a crowd begins to form. Most people are content to just point and shout and think about what they're doing. But there are several groups that do rush to try and slow you down. Sentry and Lucius both mark off those spells that you were casting. I'm not going to do saving throws, but in doing so, you buy yourself enough time that these crowds that come rushing towards you manage to kind of distract them temporarily enough that they don't swarm you, that they don't try and tackle you to the ground. They basically just deflect away these larger common folk. You know, these people are never going to pose a threat to you in a fight, but they are innocent people who are trying to, like, you know, tackle you or grab you, or they're calling out to other people to get it, and this constant echo is now thrumming up through the main street. As you charge forward, people are running out of the way, screaming to get out of the way, moving stock or like these like food wagons out of the way, and all of that is creating this commotion. Sentry, when you do the blinding smite, the invisibility will go away though, because when invisibility is lost when you make any sort of like attack or spell of that kind of nature.
Okay.
So as you do so, Sentry sort of like, as you slam your sword down to scatter this group of, they look like thugs dressed in like black leather and kind of brassy armor, as you strike the ground and kind of send this flaring light that bounces up off all the mirrored surfaces, you watch as Sentry's form kind of goes and reappears from the invisibility spell as it does so. But you manage to gain significant distance towards the spaceport as this is happening. You do notice that there is a larger force in pursuit. Up until now, it's mainly been, visitors, common folk, people that are maybe opportunists. Again, not people that pose any sort of combat threat to you. But as you are rushing down this side street, bursting out of what appears to be almost like a black and iron fortress up ahead, maybe some sort of guard station, you see one red-skinned tiefling, maybe, kind of not quite a tiefling. They have red skin and a tail, but they don't have the signature big horns. Instead, they have a big pair of fiendish wings coming out of their back. But next to them, the way to describe these would be, they almost look orcish in appearance, but they have these huge horns, like a giant bison's horns coming out the side of their head. Their bodies are incredibly thick and muscular, grey-skinned with scars and infernal tattoos on them, both clad in these thick, brassy breastplates holding giant swords. They come bursting out of the fortress, looking to basically give pursuit as you do so. Meanwhile, Ayla and Nova, you guys make your way invisibly through the streets, and the commotion being caused by the others running away gives you enough time and enough discretion to make your way to the Theatre of Steel without any demons or any other beings spotting you. You're not sure what can see through invisibility here, but you make your way to the theatre undisturbed so far. You can see that the majority of the fighters that you had seen waiting in line or going inside are now mustering outside. There appear to be a large group of them forming some sort of like search patrol. You can overhear them sort of speaking to each other in this guttural, infernal language. We'll split up into 4 teams. You take this side, take that side. We'll have a team of flyers overhead. We'll try and track them down. If any of us get hold of it, we split the ring. How do we know that you're going to agree to this bargain? Well, we'll just have to work together, won't we? And all this kind of like conversation going on as you see these different fighters. Some of them demons, some of them look like Eladrin, these kind of fey creatures with glowing orbs for eyes, all making these arrangements to give pursuit to the group of you. The only creature, go on.
Can I grab Ayla's hand? Like, if I imagine she's probably still searching for, and just be like, careful. I think they might have, some of them might have true sight, and I think that'll come through the invisibility.
Yeah, I mean, you can still move stealthily. You can still use, like, cover. True sight isn't X-ray vision. Like, you can still use things like cover, and the invisibility will obviously help. So, looking down, to enter the side entrance that you saw before, you'll need to head down into that little alleyway that you walked down before. And you can see, looming over it, is the, 19 feet tall, giant ape-like demon. It's looking out onto the main street. It's not looking down into the alleyway. It's kind of craning its neck, twisting and looking down, trying to see whatever it can. But it doesn't show any signs of moving from the location as you look down.
So it's currently looking away from us.
It's looking down into the main street, which is where you're coming from, but it's not looking into the alleyway that you'll need to access the theater side entrance.
Okay.
I can't cast a cantrip if we're invisible, can I?
I believe that it says here the spell ends with target that attacks or casts a spell.
Okay.
So yeah, cantrips would count.
Yep. Equipment. Any ideas, Ayla?
I don't think I have anything else that can, other than just what?
I have an idea. The glamour disc. If I can. So it's got an image of Quill currently. I could throw the glamour disc and distract the demon away from the door.
Do it.
So if I don't know how it would work, but I have the glamour disc, which currently has an image of Quill. Can I
creates an illusion of Quill? Yep.
Activate it and throw it so that it kind of lures the guy away from the door?
So the illusion doesn't move. The thing with the glamour disc is it projects a single static image. So once you throw it, wherever it lands, that's where the illusion will be. It won't move from that spot after that. So at best, you're probably looking.
Throw the item.
You can throw it and
he turns around, and
you can throw it like 20 feet. And there's like this short, maybe 40-foot long alleyway from where you're currently hiding. Let's say you and Ayla are kind of ducked behind some, some food stand, looking into this alleyway, and the front of the theater is guarded by these various demonic and fey warriors.
How many times a day can I use the jump on my hammer?
It should say on there, I think. I think it's charge based. So if you check spells
Hey.
for Ayla, it should have it.
I don't have spells.
No.
Yep.
Is it not updated?
So I've got charges 3 on the hammer. So could I, in theory, use
so-
any of those charges?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
one
I've got
one charge
dust
per
as well.
jump
That's
spell.
what I.
Yeah, so you can
Right.
use either or, and each one is a charge basically.
So I could time it so that when Nova throws that, I grab her and propel us. I guess, like
Yeah.
to the
We'll
door.
need- yeah.
Would that
We'll
work?
need a way out too. We'll need a way out too. Yeah. Let's try
Cross
it.
that bridge
Can
when
I
you
try
come
and
to
do
it.
that?
Let's try
Okay.
it.
So Nova, you activate the glamour disc and you're going to throw it because I think with Nova's strength that you're going to get like a 20-foot throw on this, and that's being generous as
Could
you
I
kind
give
of like
it to Ayla to
hoik
throw
it.
then?
Sure, yeah, you could do, yeah. Ayla can
Throw
definitely
this as
throw
far
it
as
a
you
lot
can.
further than you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll throw it.
So-
yeah, you can throw it like fucking miles if you wanted to. Like, what's the
Minus
range on like a
10.
javelin? Like 60 feet. You could probably lob this if you wanted to. But the question is, where are you going to throw it? Are you going to throw it back out into the main street? Are you going to try and throw it into another
So
alleyway?
I guess where this guy guarding the door is, the
Yeah,
idea
and
is trying to get him to go away, or at least just
Yeah.
turn his back so we can
Yeah.
go behind him.
Which
Yeah, you
direction
could throw
would
it
we have
behind
to
him.
throw it for him to turn? Yeah. Can I throw it into the street at the other side then?
Yeah, you can try.
Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It will buy you some time. Obviously, if he knows it's an illusion, it will only keep him distracted for so long. But,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it sounds like that's
Bye-bye.
a good plan. All right.
Bye bye, glamour disc. Had you since
So,
like
Ayla-
F3.
You grip the hammer in one hand.
Worth it.
You grab the disc. Nova activates it. You throw it. This tiny crystalline disc skims through the air, and as it's flying through the air, it begins creating this magical image of your friend Quill. You summon the charge of the hammer, and you feel its energy flow through you. And as lightning sort of semi-crackles down your legs, your invisible legs, you grab Nova and you can launch yourself. And I believe it triples your jump distance, which means you can jump about 60 feet. So with a single bound, you propel yourself up and across through this alleyway,
Just
slamming
scoop
into the
up
ground.
Nova.
Yeah, and with a superhero bound, you kind of land on the ground just outside the entrance, where a metal door leads into the Theatre of Steel. The glamour disc lands behind the demon, the giant demon. It turns and it's kind of looking around, and you see it kind of cock its head. It looks away, but it's like, illusion, mistress. And it begins calling out in a voice back in towards the theater. What do you guys do? You're in front of the door.
Well, we're invisible. We're still invisible,
the door,
aren't we?
we're
The door's
still
You are invisible.
Shut.
The door is shut. Yeah. You can try and open it quietly. Like, you could literally make a stealth check to try and sneak the door open.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Sure. Who wants to do that? One of you make a stealth
I
check.
got a +3.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Although I'm very unlucky, so this could go horribly wrong.
Well, you never know.
Oh.
Hey, that's not unlucky.
21.
21.
Damn.
Okay.
Nice.
So passive would be 17. So yeah, whilst it's looking in the other direction, and you can see the giant demon, like, he's almost bending down to where it can see this tiny disc, and it kind of clutches it in its huge ape-like hand, and it just breaks it in between its fingers. It just snaps it. But as you wait for its attention to be divided, you silently open this metal door. It doesn't creak, and the two of you manage to slip inside. Do you close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're trying to make it look like nothing's happened for this
Sneaking.
demon.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just asking. So yeah, you close it quietly behind you, and you find yourselves backstage of the Theatre of Steel. You can see that any activity that was here before has vanished. Nobody seems to be inside the theater. There is no audience. There's no staff. Seems abandoned for now. Meanwhile, we cut back to our runaway friends as you hurtle down the main street of Azagrat. And let's just put some of you on this map.
Oh, that's where all the fighters from that Colosseum are. They're here, chasing us.
Shit.
That's why it's all died down there.
Do you want some diegetic breathing sounds? Because we can do that. Just to fill the time while he sets up the map.
Yeah.
No, I had the map set up. I misclicked something. While I was doing it.
Please stop.
I'd like to think that
What are lungs?
when Quill's running, he's actually got his mouth open just about enough with his beak that it creates a perfect whistle.
Oh, like a repeating bird whistle.
Like a little train.
Follow the whistle.
Into the distance.
Okay.
It's like Sandstorm.
So, the crew who are currently running through the main street of Azagrat, you are making your way down. Crowds are now fleeing out of the way. Nobody's having seen you kind of trying to stun them, blinding them with spells, they are no longer trying to get in your way. Instead, they're just calling out. They're like, you can hear people like, guards, I found them. I found the ones the prince is after, pointing in your direction. And coming behind you, one mage appears to be flying, as I mentioned, on a pair of fiendish wings. The other two are these giant orc-like demonic beings that are stomping after you in armor and swords. What is the plan? I guess it should be initiative just to see what happens. But okay. You guys are a little ways ahead of them. In fact, I'm going to move you guys 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I'll put you guys 30 feet ahead.
Oh,
Nice.
Damn, you did it.
Speedy boy.
You guys would be over here like this.
So they're not ahead of us, are they? Or
no, they're behind you. Well, they kind of came at you from the side, like from some sort of like building on the side, but you've then run past, so they're only a short ways behind you, basically. Is how it is.
Okay.
I also need to add this encounter. Thalia, same encounter, run encounter. Auto roll. Okay, Lucius, Virian, Eloin, Elenasto, initiative.
I have 13.
13. Quillic.
22.
22. Ayla is not there. Sentry.
11.
11. And then Thalia has got hers there. Alright. Quillic. So these things are in pursuit. You can see the one who is flying, the fiendish fellow who appears to be flying, is in robes, and you can see that they are carrying some sort of rod, and they are the ones directing the other two creatures. They're kind of pointing them in your direction.
Nice.
What do you do?
I was hoping I had Entangle prepared, but I do not. So I will cast Calm Emotions. It has 60 feet, and it's a 20-foot radius. So I think it will hit all of them. Worth a try. Calm Emotions. So they have to make a Charisma saving throw. Otherwise, they are just super chill. You know? Just real chill, cool guys.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I believe it is
so
a
as you
charmed
begin...
effect.
I was checking another thing as well. As you begin weaving the spell, you turn around, you focus your sight, you begin holding up your holy symbol, muttering the words. The flying one with the rod points at you, and in an infernal word says a short sentence, and the spell just dissipates from your casting. Camp spells.
Oh, craps. Whoops. Damn it. So
that's when it happens
I'm
to
going to
you,
go... Well, in that case, I can't bonus action spell. I'm going to go 30 feet, so I have to go round this like statue here, right?
Yeah, so there's this giant statue of Gratz himself holding up a giant sword to the heavens. This huge, enormous obsidian statue that dominates the main street.
Damn it.
Oops.
What a handsome guy. Okay, I'll go round that statue. And yeah, at 30 feet, so I can't dash. But that's me. That's me.
Thalia does not have any more spell shots available, so she will...
Ooh.
I think Thalia just looks at all of you and is just like, we need to just run. I don't know if we can just... I don't think we can just fight. We just need to get the hell out of here. And she is going to... 5, 10, 30, 60. She's just going to run ahead, and you can see her trying to make sure that there's a clear line of sight to wherever you're trying to go. But she is just going to run for it as she does so. The flying Mage, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, flies directly towards Quill and will speak in this commanding voice. Will say to probably... So Quill cast a spell. Also separate. Yeah, he'll look at you, Quill, and in a deep, commanding voice will bellow, I suggest you stop moving immediately. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Shit. Wisdom save. 23.
Damn.
23, yeah.
Oh.
Thing NPCs don't know that you're so wise, Quill. You so
They don't
wise.
know we're the champions.
So you feel this spell kind of take hold, but you shrug off its effects. Whatever infernal commandment this was being given doesn't faze you whatsoever. You do not wish to stop moving. Lucius, Virion, Eloin, Elanasto.
Okie dokie. I'm going to start skirting round the same direction as Quill. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Mm-hmm. And they look very aggressive, right? They look like they're going to mess us up. They got angry faces.
I mean, they are a terrifying demon, yes.
I don't want to judge a book by its cover. But I will be casting Lucius's Luscious Light. It's a 150-foot range and a 20-foot sphere up here on these two boys to try and both blind them and maybe do a little damage. It can be heard up to 30 feet away. That's a little extra, so I'm drawing attention. And yeah, it's a concentration spell. Dexterity saving throw, please, of 16 to beat.
Dexterity saving throw on the two fiendish-looking fellows at the top.
Big boys.
Dex saving throw. They have a magic resistant, which means they have advantage on saves against spells. I mean, pretty much all of the demons you fought here so far have had the same thing. One fails. The next one succeeds.
Right.
So one of them manages to kind of throw themselves to the side as you conjure the sphere. But the other
area,
one...
the area is still difficult terrain, regardless.
Okay.
Any creature that ends its turn there will take 2d6, and any creature that starts its turn there takes 2d6.
So it's 20-foot radius, you said, yeah?
Yeah, so any creature that starts its turn there.
It's like that.
Yeah.
That sort of area?
I just want to coat them too.
Yeah, which you do.
And it's a blinding
smother them in
light.
Yeah, it's like a swirling blue and orange sphere of light that seems to, completely blind them. You hear one of them kind of grunt. Where, sir? The other one is unaffected by the. So, what was the saving throw for? Is that they take damage immediately, or?
That's a good question. I don't know why there is one. It just says the void creates a warp in the fabric of space, and the area is difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn takes 2d6 cold. Any creature that ends its turn must succeed on a dex saving throw.
So there you go. So if it ends its turn,
turn.
yeah. So
That's
yeah. So it starts its automatic damage, but at the end of the turn, it's a saving throw.
And because of it being cold, my dichromancy goes off 3rd level, so that's 7 points of damage to the left one.
Okay.
Actually, this boy.
Which boy is
please.
that for the
The one
podcast
closest to
listeners?
The flying one that's flying at Quill.
Flying mage.
Flying
so
boy.
you pull
boy.
a strand of blue ice and color from the environment, perhaps like a blue banner that's floating nearby, and you form it into an icicle that kind of catches the mage who's flying through the air. Yeah, it definitely hits, but does not seem to impede the mage as much as perhaps you might hope. Sentry.
I'd like to move.
So the others
up
are making a
between
run for
Lucius
it?
And Quill.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to use Turn the Faithless on the flying devil boy.
Okay, sure. Tell me what happens with that.
So that is a Wiz saving throw of 15, and then on a failure, the creature is turned for a minute or until it takes damage.
Okay.
Oh my god. Or anyone.
That is a failure.
Woo! Oh,
That one.
That's a natural one. So yeah. So
Damn.
you. What does this look like for Sentry? Because obviously, with with other paladins and clerics, channel divinity is often like a like a holy symbol or it's like a divine thing. What is this for Sentry as a guardian?
I feel like she would concentrate the energy in her matrix, and her eyes would start glowing this really intense golden light, and then she'd raise her shield, and the Solvin symbol or Solwyn symbol on the shield would then start glowing with a golden light and just beam out this like golden energy.
Yeah, and you see the mage kind of like kind of like blinding. It's like push back, like they have. And you just hear these kind of grunts and groans as it can't bear the sight of this glowing shield that it's being presented with. Perfect. So
Awesome.
the two fiendish creatures start their turn in the sphere, so they take some automatic damage. Is that correct, Prestrot?
At the start, if they start the turn there, yes, unless they do a dex
both
saving
start
throw.
their
Don't they?
turn.
They do a dex saving throw.
You tell me. You tell me. What does the spell say?
I'll tell you, Mark. So, any creature that starts the turn there takes 2d6, and they roll a dex saving throw if they end their turn there. And
All right, so it sounds like they just take the damage at the start, but at the end of the turn, if they're still in it, then they get the saving throw.
yeah, and they get 4 times damage because it says here, if it's from Lucius, Viren, Elwin, Elenasto, you get 4 times damage.
You're a very funny
does say
man.
it.
It's very comedic.
Cool.
It doesn't say. He's a liar.
You're a funny guy.
He's an absolute liar. You're a funny guy. So, roll damage. What damage am I taking?
2d6. Shall I roll it for you? There we go. 7.
Yeah, that's that would be lovely. Thank you. And this is acid damage, yes?
Cold
damage, this one, and then it's acid or whatever is the other one. Okay, so you see this sphere of light. You hear shrieks of pain coming from inside, and then the creatures are going to try and stumble their way out. They are not the brightest, but I think that they would be smart enough to know it as long as they move forwards. So 10, 30, 20, 30. They stumble out of this blinding light and see these foes erased before them, and as they kind of see you can see their flesh, this grey, almost stone-like skin, and these huge horns are covered with rime and frost. They just bellow, they kind of up at the sky, and they charge at you as a bonus action. So one will charge towards Lucius, and one will charge
When they
towards Sentry.
came out of that, did they factor in their difficult terrain?
They did not. So, okay, I will change that instead. So that would be 10, 20, 30, and then this one would go 5, 10, 20, 30. So they'd actually end there. So in that case, that is still enough range for them to use their bonus aggressive trait to charge towards you. So they kind of pull themselves out of it slowly. As soon as they lock eyes with their targets, they just and they come barreling towards the group of you. They will, with huge kind of jaws, one bites down and swings with its sword towards Lucius. Sentry, do you want to use a reaction? Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that on the bite attack or the sword attack?
Let's do sword attack.
Okay, so the bite is a normal attack. That is
So I
a
forgot
18
Tom.
to hit.
Your barrier ring? Damn it.
Well, 18 to hit.
Just.
So that's 8 points of piercing damage, and then the sword attack has disadvantage as Sentry throws her shield up to try and deflect it. And that is going to be a 13 to hit.
Just.
Does it actually hit?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wait. What's the total? With
13.
the protection. So I've got...
No, the protection gives disadvantage. No, the protection gives disadvantage. When the
Yeah,
attack
it still
roll.
hits. Just.
Yeah, okay. So that is going to be another 13 points of slashing damage. So it bites into you, like manages to like kind of cause you to throw yourself back, and you stumble, and then the sword kind of just clips you on the side as you dodge out of the way, but it's still enough to kind of, this impact of force goes through your body as it does so. Sentry, the other one, will just straight up attack you, so it tries to bite you and then hits you with a sword. That is only a 11 to hit on the bite.
No hit.
The shield of Solvin gets in the way as it bites down, and then that is a 19 on the greatsword.
No hit.
So you parry it aside with Her Majesty's Rose, fulfilling your job as tank as both blows go sailing wide. And then, whilst that is the end of that turn, so we will jump back over to Nova and Ayla. So, you are
I have
currently...
regrets. I have
You are
regrets.
currently within an empty theatre. The backstage, you can see all sorts of cages and props and weapon racks ready for the combatants to take on stage.
Is
there
this
is
the area where the
He was
tool
down,
working
wasn't
was? They were downstairs, weren't they?
There was, yeah. So you got pointed. There's just a short corridor, and then there was a stairway that led down into a forge area.
So, with my previous movement into the door, so my 60-foot jump and whatever else, it's in addition to my other movement. So
It's
would-
just not limited by your other movement. It still uses up your movement, but if your jump would take you beyond what you could normally move, you still complete the jump. But it's also not combat, so I'm
Right.
not too worried about like movement at this rate. You guys aren't being incapacitated. You know, there's nobody here. You can just move as you want to. You don't have to worry about movement and stuff right now.
Okay. I guess can we move to have a look downstairs?
So you begin slowly making your way, the invisibility still hiding you from sight as you continue making your way downstairs. The long stone corridor is darker than it was before. Before there was the kind of light of the forge heating it up. This time it's only kind of a dull red embers glow that gives you any light source on these stairs. But as you descend them, you don't hear any noise until you reach the bottom, where you can see kind of just standing in the corner, their arms still shackled to the forge area by these long steel chains. You see the very muscular but very thin, kind of very lean, somebody that's obviously done a lot of fighting but hasn't had the best diet. So they've kind of got these super lean muscles, but they're also kind of brittle and bony at parts. Wild elf. They're just kind of stood in the corner muttering as they look around, not quite looking at anything in particular. And you can see that the weapons have all been cleared out on the tables. There doesn't appear to be any sign of any armor or anything. The Durgar that was here before, you don't immediately see as you kind of step down into the room. But there are several kind of corridors and doorways that lead off from this main forge area. But the wild elf seems to be just in the corner, chains bound to the forge, thick steel chains. Not the kind of chains that are too easy to break.
Are there any keys around the forge?
You don't
Did
see any.
he leave
you can,
anything
you can, You
behind?
can investigate. You can investigate more thoroughly, but that's obviously going to take some time. But you don't, glancing around, you don't see like, you know, a little hook with keys on it or anything like that. There might be some tools, maybe. Like there might be tools left, but no weapons.
Can I see if any of the tools would help to pry the chains?
Manacles. Yeah. Yeah, you can do. Yeah, it would be an investigation check, or Nova can help if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll
One of
help
you make an
Ayla
investigation?
In any way.
Okay. Do you want to make an
yeah.
investigation check then, Nova? Because I think you're going to be slightly better at this
You're
than
probably
Ayla will be.
better at that.
Got a plus
Yeah,
2.
sure.
Where's my dice? There it is.
+2 is better than a -1.
Ah.
Okay.
I got a
So
minus
so
one.
it's not-
Plus 2.
It's not that
That's
you.
a 5.
It's a 5. It's not that you don't find anything. It just takes some time. Like Nova is kind of searching through. Will this help?
Panicking.
No. You're kind of like looking through. You're panicking as you do so. And as you are doing this, Ayla, you hear that coming from one of these side corridors, you see a kind of dull white glow as some sort of magical light source comes in. And you hear these heavy metal kind of like as you hear something moving up. Rethra, the wild elf, kind of looks around. He's just like, Forge Master, can't do my work. Don't have my tools. And when you go on,
I was just gonna ask if there was with the tools, if I can pair that with expending a rage to just like really like set him free as quickly as possible.
I'll give you advantage on the check to break the change for sure. Like, yeah, you can rage and get advantage on the check, and the tools will help as well. For sure, yeah. So give me a strength plus proficiency, and then obviously with advantage as well. You have appropriate tools.
16 plus 4 strength plus 5 proficiency. Yes, so 25.
Easily. 25. It takes you an immense amount of effort. Lightning crackles up and down your arms, and you see Rethra kind of get nervous, looking around, balling his fists up, and he kind of brings his arms in almost into like a defensive position, like an instinctive, like he needs to fight
While
or
I'm
he's
doing
ready to
it,
fight.
can I just say, it's okay, brother. It's fine. For Alfheim, we need to get out of here.
What language do you say that in? Do you say that in common?
In Elven.
Okay. So you say you speak in Elvish, and you see his muscles relax, but he's still holding the guard, but you can kind of see he's just like, don't want to fight anymore, can't fight anymore, too much fighting, too much blood. Oh, want to leave, and you kind of hear these mutterings. But as you strain and the lightning crackles up and down your arms, you hear the stress of the metal screech and tear, and with a mighty effort, one of the chains pops. Tiny fracture in the link breaks, and as it does, the chain comes clattering. There's still one long chain attached to the manacle against Rethra's wrist, but the chain is no longer attached to the forge. But as this chain falls, Nova, you wheel around as that light fills the room, and stood there is the Durgar who was here before, the one that enchanted the hammer, and you can see that he is now kind of adorned himself in almost like a suit of armor, but it's got all sorts of like clockwork parts and magitech crystals powering through it, almost like an exoskeleton. And he kind of like, I knew that you'd come back for him. As soon as I saw the images from Graz, I knew you'd be back. Sorry, it's nothing personal, but I could take those 3 wishes. Go on, Nova.
No, I was going to offer him money, but he wants a fucking wish, doesn't he? Stupid wish boy.
I mean, you could still offer him money if you want to.
It's just because I've got invisibility up there, innit? But then Ayla's probably ruined that. Not ruined that, sorry. Wrong word, darling.
I think Ayla is no longer invisible, yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
technically that means the whole... Actually, no, it's per creature, I think. So you're still invisible,
Per
but
creature.
Ayla is...
I'm still invisible.
Yeah, so you're still invisible.
Oh, which means I
What
could
do-
probably
yeah,
stick behind him and threaten him. Maybe.
You could try.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
threatening. I'm so threatening. Okay, yeah, fuck it. Can I sneak behind him? And
You can. You're gonna... First
And-
things first, let's see if you're noticed. So give me a stealth check with advantage, because you're invisible.
stealth
You are
check
invisible.
+3.
So this is more to kind of like quieten your footsteps more than anything.
22 and a
Yeah.
13.
The 22 will do it. So yeah,
Nice.
you kind of press yourself up against the stone and move behind, and you can see that this suit is made of all sorts of kind of armor smithing, engineering, but also magitech as well. One arm appears to have like crystals embedded into the gauntlet. One appears to have some sort of like lightning device along the underside of a forearm. The legs have been kind of empowered and engineered as well. And yeah, you kind of sneak up behind as he's looking and talking to Ayla. Let's not make this difficult. And he just gets himself ready as he stares towards Ayla.
If I want to, like, I guess put Tiangong to his throat, I'd have to climb up the suit, right?
He's not super tall. He's not massive. It's not like Alien's exosuit. He's still, medium-sized for a Durgar, but he's just, you can see that his, like, strength has been obviously massively
Modified
and things like that, so...
Is there, like, a red button I can push on the back of his suit that's like, do not push this, and it just ejects
there
him
is
out?
not.
And...
No, there is not.
Shame. What a flawed machine. I guess... Yeah,
You've got, like, 6 seconds.
Okay, I want to get as close to him as possible and draw Tiangong behind him and threaten him. And as he, I guess, starts to threaten Ayla, I guess I'll come out of invisibility and just say... Well, actually, no, because I can still be invisible. It's only if I cast a spell or attack. Anyway, I want to...
Yes, but knowing that a creature is there with a sword at your throat, I think maybe stretches the limits of an attacker creature.
I just want to be a weird voice in his ear. His conscience.
Yeah, and you will be. You will be, but you won't... Let's put it this way. You're still invisible, but you won't gain the benefits of invisibility as long as you're right next to him with a sword at his throat. Yeah. He knows exactly where you are.
Yeah. So I want to take Tiangong to his throat and just say, this is going to be very easy or this is going to be very hard for you. Let us go now. You can't spend 3 wishes if you're dead.
Ayla, anything to add?
And I will... I'll just say I would listen to her if I were you, and I've got all of the lightning kind of crackling already, and she looks very fucking angry, so she's probably looking a bit intimidating, and she'll just pick up her hammer as well.
There's a pause, a heartbeat. You won't get very far. By now, whatever way you were thinking of getting off this planet, Grants won't allow it.
We'll get further than you.
I can speak for you. You could be good fighters here. I could put in a word for you. You give yourselves up.
I'll give you money. I will buy him from you.
How much? You see him, like, kind of tensing these giant, kind of augmented gauntlets, but you can see he's not taking any aggressive actions, but he's ready in case something does kick off.
Name a price. Don't look at my character sheet while you're doing this.
I'm not. I'm looking at his stats and thinking, like, how smart is this guy? Like, how ambitious is this guy? Tell you what. 1,000 gold. I won't call out for the Garistro outside.
Does that involve letting us go, though? I don't want you coming after us.
1,000 gold will set me up nicely. It might not be a wish, but it's also better than risking injury at the hands of you two. It will set me up nicely.
Power down your machine. Now.
Not until you're paid and out of here.
So I'll take the 2 blue spinels out. They're
500 GP each.
500 each, and I'll put them. I guess I'll just drop it in his little suit.
Yeah, you can put them on the. He'll probably say, like, put it on the floor. Like he'll gestures like in front of him. Yeah. You roll them in place. Yeah. No, I know. He looks at him and he's like, "Go on then, take the broken elf. You won't get far."
Okay. Inside, like, Nova's heart is just like...
Can I break the chain free of the manacle on his wrist as well?
Yeah, sure.
So that
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
not
yeah,
like a
sure.
big old bit of
Yeah, there's no pressure now at this point. So yeah, you kind of snap it with a almost like a big set of tongs, but use it to kind of like break it apart, kind of thing.
Okay. I'll just look at Rethra and just nod to him. We have to go.
He doesn't nod back. He's just looking at his hands. He's like, I don't understand. He doesn't even seem to be aware of what's going on between you and this Durgar. Like, he's just not fully aware of what's going on.
We're leaving to a place where you don't have to fight. Come with
Okay.
us.
Yeah. It's like, I'll find.
Trust
Follow
us.
the Alpha. He just sort of like nods and just he'll follow you. If you tell him to follow you, he'll follow you. Like you get the impression that he doesn't do a lot of thinking for himself in this state. You can see that there's obviously some confusion, but also just a reluctance to face reality. And so if you tell him, follow me, go this way, he does it. He doesn't even realize what he's doing. He's just following orders, basically.
I,
But yeah, the two of you go on.
Can I messenger ring Ayla? Because I'm still trying to look hard in front of this guy.
Okay.
And can I just be like, I've only got enough for one more spell. It can be invisibility, but obviously with the true sight, I don't know if we take if we can hole up somewhere for an hour. There's more 8 hours. I can do the gate again.
We don't have an hour, Nova. We have to go. We have to go now.
Okay. Smash and grab. Okay.
All right.
Wait,
So
one
you
more
guys
thing.
can leave.
One more thing. Can I cast? Can I reach out and touch Ayla, and cast Gift of Alacrity on her? Can I cast? It's my last
Yeah.
Hadar magic.
Your temporal magic. It's not Hadar magic. It's not
It
Hadar magic.
lasts for my temporal magic. It lasts for 8 hours, and she gets 1d8 to initiative rolls.
So whenever you roll
God.
initiative, you get an extra D8 on top of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Speedy.
Whatever happens, Ayla, you go.
Yeah.
Okay. You take
So-
him and you go.
So for Ayla, the feeling of this spell is as you see Nova summon this energy, she kind of crackles with it, and you see the Durgar is immediately like, "Oh fuck, you're betraying me." But you see Nova almost split into two versions of herself, and then she kind of slams back together, and then this it's like having lightning in your blood. Like you feel your body moving supernaturally quick. You can almost see your own movements before they happen. You can almost see little tiny like microseconds of things before they happen. And it's disorientating until eventually your body adjusts to it, and now you just have this sense of what's going to happen and when, but it's like a reactive sense. Like your body can react faster to situations. And yeah, the three of you can begin making your way back up into the theater, and you just hear the sound of the Durgar picking up the jewels, and you don't hear anything else from him. He'll take 1,000 gold for letting you go. And yeah, so do you cast invisibility on the three of you and then try and sneak out the front door, or do you want to go out through the side entrance? What's the plan?
I guess I'll take from Ayla. I'll take the lead from Ayla.
All right.
You said that everyone was out already.
It seems to
Yes.
be. Yeah, you didn't hear anybody inside the theater.
So, could we take instead of going out the side where the big dude is,
Mm-hmm.
could we go out the front door, and invisible and just leg it
Yeah.
down
absolutely.
the old street?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So you lead
Um,
the other two. So you lead Rethra and Nova up, and making your way into the main theater. I mean, you emerge out onto, I guess, like something like the Royal Victoria Theatre. Like there's this huge amphitheater of these plush velvet seats, gold drapery and curtains everywhere. But rather than looking down to a wooden stage with like props and backgrounds and things and sets, it is just a big sand pit where there is just dried blood splattered everywhere. There are metal cages, there are pieces of bone and skull, and all above, hanging like a giant glass chandelier, are dozens of strung-up weapons. Swords and spears and knives and axes, all hung up, blades pointing down onto the sand floor, basically. But it seems empty. You lead the other two up in between the stairs, in between the seats, through the little back ways, out into a large foyer, which appears to be empty as well. And there is several sets of double doors. You open them to a crack, and you look outside. There are still a few lingering demons and fiends, that sort of thing, creatures, mercenaries, human guards, but they're significantly less than what there were before. And the three of you begin to sneak away. How successful that is, we will find out after we cut back to the others, who are still being pursued. Quilek Adkalar.
Yeah.
We got him. We got him, Katie.
Sentry turned one of them. I want to turn the other two, if possible, with my channel divinity.
Nice.
You
So yeah,
two.
and a wisdom saving throw from both of them. Anything that can hear me within 30 feet.
Okay. I mean, you
double
could
turn this dude.
target. You could target the one that Sentry's targeted as well, just in case. Like, you can have the same effect on it if you wanted.
He's still turned anyway, right? Yeah, sure. I'll double turn him. Turn him for 2 minutes.
Double turn. Yeah.
Wait,
I mean, it just
if you
means that
double
if,
turn,
like, for what
he goes 360.
it means
he
that
starts
he has to
following us
move
again.
away.
Back
He
at
needs
us.
to move away from you, basically. So
Right.
wisdom saving throw, did you say?
Yes, from both of those.
Cool. And your channel divinity, you can do it on fiends. Is that like an arcane domain thing?
Arcane
Normally it's
abjuration.
Okay, cool.
Celestial,
right.
elemental, fey, or fiend.
Wisdom saving throw. The first one is a natural 20 because it gets advanced.
Oh my god.
Oh! Here he
Oh,
is.
my God.
I will get the physical dice. If it comes up again, I will get the physical dice.
Fuck.
Because I do not trust
Life.
it.
2 nat 20s in a row. So both of them got nat
Yeah,
20
the
and
physical
survive.
dice broken.
Just-
That's broken.
It's just absurd. It's just absurd.
I'm
No,
getting physical
really?
dice.
No way.
I'm getting I'm not using it. I'm not using it. I
Wow.
don't know why.
Roll 20.
There is something about roll 20 and me, and I don't know what it is. It never happens in any other game I play, but on the High Rollers
Goddamn
games,
pay to win.
Oh my
it's-
god.
Someday.
I will re-roll all of these saves because I do not trust it. I just don't trust it.
Wow, okay. Damn it.
Disgusting.
First one. The first one fails. The second one
Awesome. It's 17, by the
is
way.
a natural 20. I'm not joking. I wouldn't joke. The third one, which is a different creature, that is a 7. Oh no, that doesn't have resistance, so it'd be a 17. Is that a pass or a failure?
17 passes, just.
All right, so one of them is turned. One of the big fellows, we'll say the rear one, is turned.
Oh, the one on Lucius. Perfect.
Yeah. So you see and what does it look like when Quill does this? This is a unique effect.
I'm sure I've done this before, and I'm sure I described it in a very cool way, and I'm sure I've forgotten what that was. So,
It can change.
feathers. It's almost like a feathery crown goes around their head, and they're like
Okay.
looking at us, and it's kind of Crown of Madness style thing, but with feathers, radiant feathers.
Sure. So again, begins clutching its head and looking around in a panic, seeing you. It's just like just blinded by whatever presence you have summoned to cast it away. Yeah, as you do so.
Awesome.
Thalia, as she's about to run, staggers back as just before her turn, a creature teleports in front of her, similar to the demons that captured you and Lucius at the very start, the Glabrizu. These giant pincered, hulking, insectoid-like demons appear, and you begin to hear a large droning coming from above, as well as 2 disgusting fly demon hybrids begin flying down from above. This horrid, sickening droning as they begin making their way down. Thalia kind of turns in a kind of screeching motion and makes her way back towards all of you. 5, 10, 20. We have a problem! And she turns around and fires 2 blasts, scorching into the 2 flying creatures, but they just absorb the impacts. Damaged, but seemingly ongoing. As she looks around, as she's like, "Yep, they're ahead of us." The turned fiend flies away and basically disappears over the horizon as he does so. Lucius and
good.
Sentry. Lucius first, then Sentry.
Real quick. I did have a bonus action as well. I wanted to cast Holy Weapon on Sentry as well when I was next to her.
Okay.
So you get an additional 2d8 to your damage rolls.
Jesus, thank you.
And I can explode at any point too.
Nice. Lucius.
Whoops.
What do we do? Where do we go? That's what I call out to the rest of the party. And this guy's turned, so I won't get an opportunity attack if I move, right?
He can still take reactions. Yeah, he just, on his turn, he has to move away from Quill as fast as he can. But he does have disadvantage on the attacks, I believe.
I'm going to move away.
That could be wrong. Okay.
Let me check. Can't
maybe
take
not.
reactions.
Can't take reactions. He can't make an attack. There you go. I keep getting turn and feared confused. Frightened confused. Okay. So
I'll move down
you
to Thalia.
run away.
I'm going to turn around and summon a vitriolic sphere, which is a 20-foot sphere again. Can I point it here so it kind of catches those 2, but not Sentry?
So you could put it like
around
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you catch
Do
all
I
of them.
get the other guy, or is he really gone?
You get all 3 of them.
Ding dong. Okay.
Oh no,
so
that other
it's
guy's not there. Sorry, that guy's not there. He flew off. I just left him on the field.
Dex saving throw for those 2, please. 16.
16. It's magical effects. Oh, it's magical effects. They do get advantage on it. That is a 14 on one, the highest, and then a 16 on the other one.
That one saves. So half damage. It's acid.
Okay.
So ding dong. 23. Let me see if there's any ones. Yes, there are.
Oh my god.
28 acid.
Okay.
Because my ones are
28
2s.
damage for the first one, and then 14 to the other one because it takes half damage. So you see this kind of sphere of gel erupt around them, coating them in this thick acid.
Also, at the end of the next turn, they'll get 5d4 damage.
The one that failed, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And dichromancy, so that's 8 points of acid damage to the one that saves.
Okay, 8 points to him. All right, sure. So again, you kind of create this streaking bolt of orange energy that smashes into the second one. Go on, Quill.
So this is against the turned dude, right? As well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's no longer turned.
Okay. There's no way Lucius would know that, so.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technically, this is still up here.
Oh,
as well.
barriering. Ding dong.
Hey.
Okay. Sentry.
I would like to attack the one in front of me, please.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that. First one
Yay.
is a 19 to... No, hang on. 19 is 5, isn't it? No, it's 9. I forget. 21 to hit.
21 will hit these things, yes.
Nice.
These
So then it...
Tanaruk.
4. I do 4d8 now. Whoa! Woo!
Almost the holy weapon.
18, 19, 20, 20, 23 damagios, please, for that one.
23 to the one next to you, yeah?
Yes, please, yeah. And then I'll do that again.
And a D4 as well.
Yeah,
4
the-
plus- And the d4, of
Below.
course.
Yeah, don't forget that as well.
2 for that one.
2
Nice.
as well. Perfect. So the sword just glows this radiant white light as it plunges into the stony flesh of this horned orc-like creature. As it does so.
Nice. The next one's a 13 to hit.
13 will not hit, unfortunately.
Fair
bless.
dues, fair dues.
Bless
you went.
Did. Yeah.
Because I cast a concentration spell, so I got rid of it.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn? Anything else, Sentry? Sorry, I was doing something.
I would like to. That's all right. I'd like to. How many spell slots? I haven't got many spell slots left. have I?
Actually, as a reaction to being hit, the one that you hit, kind of as it gets hit, it retaliates with a counterattack. Using its reaction,
cool.
it uses Unbridled Fury to attack you. It's
That's
got
cool.
a
I
sword. I keep forgetting to use physical dice. That is only a 17 to hit.
Yeah, it doesn't
so
hit.
again, parry it with a shield as this secondary blow comes swinging down. End of your turn? Yes?
Yeah, that's me good. Thank you.
All right. In response, the two creatures roar in rage. This one will stay next to Sentry but move around. And yeah, they will continue their assault. One will target Quill, the other one will target Sentry. So we'll do the attacks against Quill. Which attack, sword or bite?
Let's do bite this time.
Okay, so disadvantage. I keep doing it. Disadvantage. That is only going to be a 13 to hit Quill.
Perfect. No.
All right, great sword. 14 to hit Quill.
No.
Okay, and then 2 attacks against Sentry. Bite. That is a 21 to hit Sentry.
Yeah.
7 points of piercing damage. And then that is a 19 to hit Sentry, which is also a miss.
Doesn't hit.
This rain of blows comes swooping down. After their go, more bad news. Another one of the Glabzeru creatures teleports in about 60 feet behind. Yeah. And the droning flies begin kind of zooming in. You can hear more of these creatures flying, and they begin calling things out. You can hear them speaking in this infernal language. And you can see that the mage that is flying away has pulled something out of like a pocket and is speaking into it. As it's flying away and kind of pointing in your direction, it's speaking into it. There is a brief moment before the entire street suddenly becomes enshrouded in a thick fog and smoke. This thick, grey, coiling smoke begins pluming up in every direction. You begin to see shapes appearing in the mist. Not quite sure what or who they are. They appear to be elven or fey-like in their build. They move amongst the smoke, all wearing greys and whites to help them camouflage in.
Oh my god.
And you can see them throwing things towards the demons. They begin throwing things towards the demons. They begin kind of conjuring these thick
is it
web-like
the angel?
strands.
Oh my goodness, this is the angel.
Shit.
One of them appears in front of the group of you. You see that the two creatures you've been fighting, one of them lands on its neck, plunges a blade in, and just carves its throat out and then rides its body down to the ground. It looks at you and in a very kind of like broken voice just says, "If you want to live, you'll need to come with me now. Follow us now."
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. I want to live.
Nah.
You hear the roars of demons. This droning of these flies is getting so loud, you're actually having to like cover your ears. It's almost piercing into your skull, this flies droning. You see that the statue of Gratz, one of these elven figures runs up to it, taps it, and a section of it falls away. And he begins ushering you towards it as they begin. That you see just these figures jumping onto the fiends around you, tearing them apart, like stabbing them in the ankles, stabbing them in the knees. Yeah,
That's cool.
and yeah, he's just like, now move.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you
we're
follow.
moving.
Yeah, like you didn't.
Nah,
You weren't
nah.
saying anything, so I'm just going to assume you do.
We going in. We on rails now.
Can I message Ayla and Nova as we go in and go and just tell them to head for the Grat statue?
There's lots.
There's lots of them. Is there any? Is there a feature?
This guy really likes statues of himself. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
And
A lot
now
of
it's so
them are
full of
naked.
smoke, Sentry. You're like looking around. You can't necessarily see like buildings and things like that.
we
The
still
whole
in
area is
initiative?
like you're sort of. Yeah. Go on. Do you want to do something?
Can I also call out? There's other members of our team. They need to get to us as well. Can you help?
We know. Get in now. We do not have time.
Okay. Oh, it's
Okay.
also good.
Awesome.
Yeah. You all go
Absolutely
in
go in.
first, and then rapidly, only 2 or 3 of them follow you. The rest seems to stay outside. The last thing you see is one of them waves a hand over their face, and they become an illusory duplicate of Lucius. They look exactly like Lucius did when you were out in the smoke. Another one takes on the visage of Quill, and you see them running off into the alleyways and things like that. The statue is sealed behind you. The man speaks a few guttural arcane words, and you see at the seam of it seems to just seal up as the stone itself is completely mended and blended together. He just puts a finger to his lips, gestures to a companion. The whole area underneath the statue, it seems to be like a small tunnel that's been carved, and it goes dead silence. You can't hear anything. You can't hear your own breathing. You can't hear your own footsteps. He just does this and then gestures down through this corridor, pointing for you to go first.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say anything either.
All right.
These guys
Well,
have
that
way better
is-
tactics than we do.
That is the point
Like-
where we will take
Oh my god.
a break.
Oh,
today.
man.
We'll take
Oh,
our break
so
there.
Cool.
Damn.
I was ready to start yelling, like, Mark,
Do the we?
I knew we were meant to get captured. Why would you do that?
Well,
but
I
no.
mean, just you guys are on a planet controlled, well, a city controlled by the Demon Prince and full of demons that can do things like teleport at will and
Yeah.
fly at
Yeah.
very fast speeds and things like this.
Yeah.
So,
So
it was
cool.
kind of bad. It was a bad situation. But yeah, let's take a
Oh,
quick break, and then when we come
sure.
back, we'll find out who these mysterious friends are.
While we're here,
Yes.
I want to say big thanks to all almost 18,000 of you watching
Yep.
right now.
Oh.
If you are
Hello.
Welcome.
Righty.
Hi, Fred.
If
We're
you
trying to keep it
are-
a secret for a bit.
if you are new, welcome. Mark, do you want to do an introduction of what High Rollers is? Thank you.
High Rollers is as you can tell, a weekly D&D show. We've been going for 4 years now. This particular campaign has been going on 2 years. It is set in the world of Aerois, which is a mixture of science fiction and fantasy. Kind of think Final Fantasy if you're into that sort of thing. Floating sky cities. The crew are currently in astral space, which is the fantasy equivalent of being in space. It's very Star Warsy. You'll meet the characters as we play. I'm not going to be able to give you a full overview of all of those. We stream every Sunday. If you want to come back and check us out again, it's every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time, which is, I believe, 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern. You can also check us out on YouTube, where we've got all of our previous episodes. We're also available as a podcast and our Twitch VODs as well. And you can check us all out and catch up on the story so far by watching
And
all of that stuff.
not only stream on this channel that you're watching right now,
Yes.
we also stream on twitch.tv/HighRollersDND, which has a few extra features, which has a live updating overlay of all our characters, so you can like click in, see what our stats are, that kind of thing's really cool. So we'd really appreciate it if you went over there and followed that too. And yeah, like Mark says, we stream multiple times a week.
We
Thanks
do
for joining us.
more D&D on the other channel as well, so you can check that out. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're
Yes.
just going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to be back, and then we're going to keep playing awesome D&D. So enjoy.
Yeah. Wonderful.
on
All
then,
right,
Tom.
let's read some donations from all you very generous people donating throughout the stream. And we will do this at the end as well. Do not worry if I miss you. Right, to start with, we have got a donation from Smeek Nuts. And it just says Smeg. Not sure I should have read that one, actually. Smurfette505 who actually donated at 505. Amazing. The anxiety that this escape is causing is unreal. Good luck, guys. Love you all. P.S. Katie has the best hair. What I mean, pee pee poo poo man. Because of holiday crap, I lost every Sunday, but I'm also ahead, and it will paying you for such fun. Thank you. Hang on, let me nudge this out. It's driving me crazy. I lost every Sunday, but I'm also ahead, and it will paying you for such fun. As Mr. in need of support was called at View Find Me Gone this name and rank. Thank you, Serial Jester. You've been in space for a couple of weeks and are now the most wanted bounties in the whole of astral space. I know, it's awful. You guys really are exceptional at making enemies. We really are. Ugh. Alex81. Hello, High Rollers. I've just caught up on Aerois, and it took me a little over a month, but damn, what a month to watch this amazing campaign. Mark, I love your storytelling, and all you amazing people sadly won't be able to watch all of today. I have to go into work. Well, you can catch up on the VOD or the podcast, like we said earlier. So you can enjoy those. Can't game good. Finally watching live after starting working in A&E, and just want to say thank you, as I lost a patient for the first time this week. So this is a great way to end the week on a high. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, and I'm sure it's a struggle in A&E right now. But hopefully this is a good escape and a good way to get away from it all. That's why we're doing it. High Rollers, get away from the real world and instead watch 5 people suffer in their little world. Justice Beer Mascara with a quarter hundo. Thank you very much. Thank you for always brightening my Sunday, and also for Big Cat. Please keep healing Big Cat. # best use of spell slots. No, I'm going to use all my spell slots, healing only the NPCs. So yeah, I guess that is Big Cat, but not the actual players. A dungeon master called Ethan. Hello, High Rollers. I've been watching you crazy lot since episode 1 and finally dropped some cash money your way. P.S. Mark/Tom both. Spectral Space Smeek? No. PPS. Tom, I was the guy that possibly hinted to pushing Smeek off the Sky City. I love Gobbos, though. Well, I'm glad you're on my side. I wanted to push him off the Sky City 1,000 times over. And also, real quick, SB Fire with 150 dudes.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Double
much.
check the decimal placing on that one. Hopefully, it wasn't meant to be a 15.
Yeah, let
but
us know
if
if
not, thank you so much.
Yeah, let Nightjar in
Hey, guys.
our chat now.
Yes.
Cool.
Hey guys, I've been a fan since the early days of Lightfall, and I just want to say how amazing you all are. You've inspired me to start my own fantasy sci-fi campaign, which my players love. So, since I've come into some money, please take this small donation.
Small.
Small.
Sure.
Small.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Um,
Yeah, no, thank you. Super generous.
Damn.
Cool. Shall we just jump back into play? I feel like we should
let's
crack
jump
on.
back into play.
Yeah.
Got one here
cracking.
from
got a couple-
Yogscast, but I can do that
Sure.
if you like.
Yeah, just read that
Amy,
go
quick
ahead.
and then we'll jump back in.
Amy the Irish donated. Hello, Chris. As every week you comment on my New Zealand dollar, here are some Kiwi phrases for you to use. Here we go. She'll be right. Troy says, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, yeah. Carked it. She's a beaut. Piece of piss. Hard case. Hope you enjoy. Thank you, Amy the Irish,
I mean,
for entertaining me
I feel
on
like
Yogscast.
we share quite a few kind of phrases to say
Piece of piss?
with
Yeah.
our Aussie friends. Piece of piss. I say that, yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
Don't
Well,
say
thank you all so
carked
much for
it
your
that
generosity.
often.
No, that's very much a definitely a colloquialism. I can't think that's-
Colloquialism.
Colloquialism.
Colloquialism. That's it. Blech, words. Let's just jump back in. Let's just crack on with it, shall we? So,
Sure.
whilst half of the party are currently being rescued by mysterious folks, we have another 2 to 3 members who are trying to make their way through the busy city. Now, invisibility lasts for 1 hour. Is that correct,
Yeah.
Kim? Okay. It isn't too long after you escape the Theatre of Steel that you notice there are a lot of demons patrolling the streets. You see creatures flying overhead. The ones that fly overhead, some of them look like grotesque mixtures between humans and flies. Others look like they're almost humanoid vultures in appearance. You see winged, bedeviled-looking humanoids similar to tieflings, but without the horns. They swoop overhead, and patrolling on the ground, you see dozens of golden-masked legionnaires, demons with giant pincer-like hands, and you notice that it's these ones that are the ones that cause you problems. As you are spotted. One of these creatures looks in you are hidden by invisibility, and you are spotted. Yourself and Ayla manage to flee for the most part, but you aren't pursued for very long before a similar thing to what happened to the others, which is a thick white smoke fills an alleyway. Giant strands of like a thick, almost like webbing, seal it up. And a mask, not a masked figure, but an elven figure, pale skin, long sort of whitish, blondish hair, emerges. This one is a woman in her figure wearing tight armor, all kind of white and grey and black in coloring to kind of blend in with this smoky concoction that they've conjured. And as you are being pursued, you can hear sort of the sounds of battle ongoing, but nothing breaks its way into the alleyway to find you. And this woman just looks, is just like, well, if you want to stay alive, I recommend that you follow me. That little spell of yours won't keep you safe for too much longer.
Huh? What? Ayla?
I mean, I'm guessing this is what...
You don't have a lot of time. I suggest you come with me now. Soon enough, those Glabrezu will break through and they'll find you no matter where you are hiding.
Well, it's the best offer we've had all day. Let's go.
1 versus army of demons. I'm good. Let's just go. Yep.
I'm glad to see that you have some intelligence about you and you can recognize the danger you're
That's
in.
debatable.
Well, this way. And very similar, this time on the ground, she taps a piece of kind of stonework on the ground, and a circular hole appears, almost being carved out of the rock. The stone falls away, and she points down, just gestures down into the dark cavern that has been revealed. And if you step inside, you notice it leads into a large carved stone tunnel. She hops in after you, points up, and the stone begins to almost like ooze, kind of reform, forming a perfect replica of what was above you before. I think, Ayla, you'd probably notice that after she does this, she discards like a piece of metal, like a little metal sphere that seems to have gone dull in color. She just throws it on the ground after this stone effect takes place. And she gestures like, follow me. I suggest that you are very quiet. We have a little ways to go. Your companions have already been found by my brother. So, this way.
Important question. Very important question.
Yes?
Is the bird still standing?
I don't know. My last communication was that your companions had been recovered. I don't know their state, unfortunately.
Well, also, does he still have all his bits? Like,
Yes,
yeah,
he's still got
I
one wing
guess-
left. We'll find out. We'll
Quite
find
honest-
out. But it's
We
fine.
should get
It's fine.
moving.
He took a few hits.
It is not my business. My business was to find you. I found you. I have recovered you, and now I am taking you to where things can be explained to you. You've caused quite a stir in this city, something that my superior is quite interested in discussing after you. Follow the tunnel.
I think, Ayla, I think we found ourselves in the middle of another revolution.
I mean, at this point,
Forgive me.
are we?
You are quite
Surprised.
amusing.
Like, this is normal. go to a planet, create a whole bunch of enemies. Go to a random house anywhere, create a whole bunch of enemies. This is what we do. We're really great at it.
I'm sure. She basically waits. She makes sure that you move ahead of her. She seems to be taking up the rear. And after a while, you notice that she waves a hand over her face, and the pale, elven, almost Eladrin-like features give way, and instead you see a purple-skinned, white-haired elf, I suppose. What we would know as drow, if you were looking in the player's handbook, a drow woman takes her place. Same armor, all the same kind of colors and things like that, but with a kind of very deep, purple-hued skin and white hair. And yeah, she leads you, or is more kind of like pushes you in a direction to follow these caverns. For the others, a similar kind of situation takes place, where after a while you are being herded down these tunnels, and you notice the tunnels, anywhere that the surface would become polished and shiny, like the buildings above, they've been painted black. And the light there's no ambient light. Any of you who don't have dark vision are being led by the others or by some of these strange allies that you have acquired. Those of you who can see in the dark, or a small amount of light from Sentry's Matrix, you notice that the same thing happens. They wave their hands over their faces, and the Eladrin-like beings are replaced by these purple-skinned, white-haired drow. The man who spoke before doesn't really speak after he gestures you into the tunnel. The silence effect that was kind of making everything quiet, after maybe about 40 minutes, it dissipates, and you begin to hear sounds and things like that again. But you get the sense that you're heading down, quite deep underground.
I'm trying to remember what Quill and Lucius actually know about these guys, because I think it was Ayla that pretty much spoke to them the most. As far as we're concerned, we were arrested and then saved, and were told none of this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We didn't really have time to fill you in on what
time.
happened before.
No, I know.
We were just concerned with saving your butts.
Thalia looks around and then sort of is like, yes, of course, I understand now. She turns to the man that you'd been speaking to before. I assume that you're keeping an eye on us, then. He just looks and nods. He turns to the three of you.
Quill, what's happening?
Who are these people, Lucius?
Sentry, do you know?
I don't know. Are we prisoners? Are we safe? What is this?
That is, prisoners is perhaps too strong of a word, but we're certainly not being rescued. Let's put it that way.
Oh, good.
Great. One thing after another. Are the other two safe?
Yeah. You hear this voice. Your companions are safe.
Great.
I've received word from my superior.
Did you get the blue one? Does she have all of her bits?
All I know is that your companions have been acquired. I do not know the details beyond that.
Okay. Nice one, Mark. I like that. Okay, where's this tunnel going? Where are you taking us, at least?
We're taking you to our safe house.
Oh, good.
It will take some time for us to reach there. It's on the other side of the city.
Gonna messenger ring.
What will you do with us?
He doesn't say. He doesn't answer that question.
What do we do? How do we survive this one? Where do we go? Is my messenger
Are we within
ring.
the 5 miles to hear that?
5 miles. Yes, I suppose you would be. You're not that far separated from each other. I know, I always struggle with distances. Like, 5 miles sounds a lot to me, but it's probably not that much.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Okay, so yeah.
So I feel like we probably wouldn't have gotten that far apart in the time that we've been
Sure.
doing this.
Sure.
Unless someone is
Yeah, you can message
really,
the ring.
really fast.
Sure, you can messenger ring then.
I
you
think we
hear
would have just
that?
heard Lucius's.
What did
We would
Yeah.
have heard Lucius's
Yeah.
panic.
Oh. Oh, you're okay. You're alive.
You're okay.
We're alive.
Well, great.
Yeah, we're
Thank
fine.
God.
We've got another elf with us now, so we're good.
I'm not
The
sure we
elf-
can
Oh, you're in
trust.
the tunnels too.
Yes. Are you in the tunnels?
We're in a tunnel.
Right.
Good.
Okay.
We need to be
I
careful
don't-
because I don't think we're being saved, so to speak. We're going from one calamity to the next, I believe, so keep your wits about you.
True, but this calamity seems less aggressive than the demon one.
All
so,
the more reason
so
to be wary
far,
of it.
Yes, always.
It's a smart people, bad people.
It's a smart people. Okay,
It's a-
thanks,
yeah.
Lucius.
I'm panicked, okay?
Smart people, Ayla.
One of the other drow traveling with Lucius, Quill, Sentry Team, says something in a language none of you understand to the man who spoke to you initially. I know that you are communicating with your companions telepathically. I would ask you to at least tell us what you are discussing.
Why on earth would we do that? Oh no.
Because I have asked you.
Oh, dude.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't worry about it. Earth is just what they sometimes call Aerois, because it's made
No, I
of
mean,
Earth. I don't know.
they-
The
Why
fact
on
that
Aerois?
I said Aerois.
Oh yeah.
Why would we state everything that we say? We don't know who.
It will
or
make
what.
things more complicated when we arrive. I will have to inform my superior that you are communicating telepathically. It will become troublesome for me.
Oh, sorry to make everything so awkward. We've just been kidnapped again.
Would you prefer it with Graz? He was on his way when I rescued you.
No, you
We don't know where we're
absolutely seem like-
going.
We don't. Yes, we're
You are being
confused.
taken to a safe house.
We don't know what's going to happen
Can we
to
get
us
a
when
little
we get
more
to the safe
information?
house.
You will be questioned, and then I believe the intention my superior has is to offer you assistance. I do not have any more information than that. My superior does not speak with me about such matters. I was given a mission. I have completed that mission.
Do you know how long we'll be here for?
As long as you need to be. I suspect that from the state of some of you, you would require some rest.
Well, that's something.
Some good news.
We would appreciate that. Yes. How much further do we have to go?
Perhaps an hour or so. The tunnels are complicated to confuse any of the demons that make their way down here.
Right. Onwards then.
Without any further conversation, unless you wish to ask something, either side, either team at this point, unless there's something you want to ask or discuss, the drow lead you to another staircase that leads up. This one, you can see that there are numerous... Quill, you would recognize them. They are protective wards, kind of inscribed into the walls. The man waves his hand a few times in a kind of complex series of gestures, and the runes stop glowing momentarily, and then you are led upstairs, and you emerge into a very luxurious-looking lounge. The walls are all coated in a thick, matte black paint that stops them being reflective. The furniture is adorned with many, many motifs of spiders and spider webs. The whole place is bedecked in these kind of motifs. There is a table of foods that have been laid out. There is water in a carafe, a crystal carafe. Glasses have been laid out for you. And you are all basically, whichever group is the first to arrive, let's say Nova and Ayla and Wraithra are the first to arrive, You are basically the woman with you says, "Sit, make yourselves temporarily comfortable. Once your companions arrive, I will need to ask you some questions."
Can I guess just try and get some water for Wraithra and just see that he's okay? Like,
yeah, I mean, he's just been following you silently, muttering occasionally in Elvish, just kind of muttering things just like, "Forge Master will be mad. I want him to be mad. I don't want to work in the Forge. I want to fight. Do I not want to fight? What do I want? I want to go home. I want to be free. Need to find out what happened." It's just like muttering to himself, and there's never anything of any real detail or consequence. Just almost thinking sporadic thoughts out loud.
I think
shuffles,
that Ayla would probably respond to him when he's talking about the forge and working, and just say, "No, it's fine. You don't work there anymore," and just try and encourage him that he's free. But she'll probably wait until, because Quill mentioned he might be able to help him a bit more. She'll probably just hang off on anything further than
Too
that.
deep.
Just
yeah. So
she's not gonna. She's just gonna
you
encourage him about the current situation.
The encouragement, the only thing it seems to do is keep him calm. That you don't think the words are reaching him. You don't think he understands what you're trying to say. You're free. You don't have to. You're not part of that theater anymore. He doesn't really understand that, but there is comfort. Like hearing Elvish calms him down. Like you can see that he kind of, his muscles occasionally tense up at when there's an unexpected noise, or if the drow woman gets too close to him, he kind of tenses up, balls his fists ready to fight. But then speaking in Elvish kind of calms him down and then keeps him quiet. It doesn't take long. You have enough time. Yeah, he drinks water. Food and water he takes gladly. As soon as he's offered it, he guzzles the water and he eats the food. Like there's pieces of fruit and he eats even the cores and stuff. He'll just eat anything that he's given. Almost as if he doesn't expect to get anything ever again. He just inhales it or stuffs it. Like if he can't physically eat anymore, he'll put it in his little tunic and things like that to hide it for later. But yeah, if you guys want food and water, it's provided. The drow woman never leaves the room. She watches you the entire time, just in quiet silence, just kind of observing you. And then eventually the stone flooring that you emerged from opens again, and you see the familiar faces of Sentry, Quill, Lucius, and Thalia, followed by about another 4 of these drow who emerge up.
You did it!
Good, you're here. Oh, right.
Hello.
We got ourselves in a real mess up there.
I'll just
There was a
instantly
lot
throw
of
myself
demons.
on Sentry. Sentry, you're okay!
Nova, you're okay. You guys are going to give me a Matrix attack, I swear. It's so good to see you.
Quill has still got a wing. Always good to see.
I'm all here. I'm collected. I'm together. It's barely. The
Lucius, how
spider
are you?
motifs. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Yes. I'm in shock. I don't know what's going on. It's been a very whirlwindy moment. She's gone from one thing to another without any rest.
How
Oh,
is
the-
Lucius looking in terms of injury right now?
Yeah, pretty good question.
He's about a third good.
Okay. So Quill's looking a bit worse for wear than Lucius is, probably.
I'm looking about a quarter good. 3/4
Okay.
bad, you could say.
3/4 bad. I'm looking
The
half bad.
the drow
good.
that brought you here, the male one looks at Ayla, Nova, and Rethra, looks to the female drow that brought them, and he bows his head, and she kind of looks at him. "I take it that your mission went without problems?" "Yes, it did." And she kind of looks at him expectantly. "Sir." "Good. Excellent. Seems that you had the more difficult group to handle. Mine were surprisingly quiet and easy.
We're right here.
I will go and inform. I know. I'm not speaking to you." She looks at Lucius like, "I'm not talking to you. Why are you talking to me?"
You're talking about us, and I think that's, right in front.
You
a
need
busy day.
to understand one thing. We could give you up to Graz in a moment's notice. You would suffer greatly. We are going to help you. You will understand respect whilst you are in this place. You will not speak to me unless I speak to you. Is that clear?
It's very hard to not Chris Trot this. Yes, it's very clear.
She looks at Ayla and Nova. I don't think she would know which gender Sentry is. So she looks at the two of you and is like, I would recommend you make sure that these ones are not flippant in front of my superior. She's not as nice as I am. I will leave you in my brother's capable hands whilst I go and inform the matron that you have arrived. And she turns and makes her way into a different room. Some of the other drow disperse, but the man that you had been with remains, along with one other guard. He kind of looks at Lucius, as in, you know when somebody looks at you and they can't believe that you've been really ballsy? Like, they're like, holy shit. Like, there's that kind of look where he's just like... And yeah, he just waits. He doesn't say anything unless you guys want to ask him a question. If not, then you just wait in silence. But there's food and water and everything else, but nobody makes any effort to speak to you unless you do.
So I wanted to ask about the spider motif. I'm guessing me and Ayla recognize Duskwillow, right? Is this Duskwillow?
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know. I mean, Duskwillow's ship had spider motifs, and she had giant spiders that could talk. They were very friendly. She seemed friendlier than that lady was. You're not sure. There's definitely similarities, though. Definitely similarities. But these are elves. You know, Lady Duskwillow had a giant spider body, and then the top half of her was this purple-skinned female elf. These guys are just that bit. They're just the purple-skinned, white-haired elf bit. No giant spider legs.
Okay. Wondering if it's the same like faction, or if it's just another spider person trying to help us out.
That's a good,
like
great question.
Putting my ring up against the wall and just like trying to compare the symbols.
So
and,
the symbol is different. Lady Duskwillow's ring, I think, had a spider on it, but it also had elements of a moon and nature. It had like vines and stuff engraved on it. I can't remember how I super described it. It was a long time ago. But it's different. These are just a spider. There's also, now that you're kind of looking around the room, lots of things like blades and knives kind of incorporated into a lot of the design. There's a lot of like spiky looking ornaments and decorations. Yeah, it's actually kind of intimidating when you kind of take a second look at it. It kind of looks like a really, really plush club lounge. But then actually when you take a closer look at it, it's actually a little bit more intimidating than that.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Maybe about 15 minutes pass, and the drow woman that you saw before that brought Nova and Ayla here returns. In fact, no, she doesn't. I just need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, GG.
Oh.
+3, y'all.
Wisdom.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
really?
get the benefits
Nice.
from Sentry's benefit, yeah.
I'm gonna need it.
13.
14.
Right, who got below an 18?
Me.
Is that
All
everyone
of us,
except
bar
Tom?
Tom.
Not me. Not
Everyone
me. I got
except Rob.
23.
Okay. Okay. You kind of, you don't hear or you don't feel anything. You don't know what's happened. But then appearing, almost in thin air, appearing from the shadows, the drow woman appears again. So, are any of you working for any of the demon princes on Azagrat? Everybody but Quill must tell the truth.
Oh.
No.
No.
How about...
Bossy ask no.
Interesting. And what of Callus Valkyrian? Do you work for Callus?
Working
Definitely
against
not.
him.
Definitely not.
No, not at all.
Interesting.
No.
I know that. I know that you lost your game against the Prince of Pleasure. What happened after you lost?
Oh, well, I found out how he was cheating, and we fled. At least me and
How did
Lucius
you
and
find
Thalia did.
How did you know that he was cheating?
I'm versed in the arcane ways.
You are lying.
I-
Tell me, how did you know that Graz was cheating?
I asked the right question.
A very vague answer. Did you use magic?
Of a sort. Why are you asking
Very
us these
good at
questions?
Avoiding questions. Because I need to secure who you are, and if you pose a threat to us.
And who are you?
She smiles. And it's not a good smile. It's kind of a sinister... we are... How should I put it? We are the enemy of your enemy. And I believe that in some planes that makes us friends.
It does.
I like friends.
I don't like you.
Yeah. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me, Chris Trott?
Zone of truth, buddy.
She didn't ask you a question.
My reactions are bubbling to the surface.
I think that you see this woman raise her hand and begin to cast a spell when the man that had brought you here punches you hard in the gut, Lucius. And it's like, you take like 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he like punches you in the gut. Silence! She did not ask you a question.
Sorry.
And you see her, like, her hand, and I think, Quill, you would notice, like, there is, like, necrotic energy beginning to crackle up that hand. Like, she was ready to cast a spell on Lucius, and then she lets it go. Sort of, like, nods at the male drow. Did you use magic to determine Graz was lying? How did you do it, Mr. Birdman? I know that you resisted my spell, so you are not compelled to tell the truth, but I still know when you are lying. So I recommend you just tell me.
Divination with my god.
Ah, not so difficult, was it? It must be quite a powerful deity, then. Graz is a demon prince. This is interesting. Interesting information. And you say that you are opposed to Valkyrian, Emperor Valkyrian. He looks towards Nova, Ayla, and Sentry at this when he says this. I know that there is a bounty placed upon you. Why?
Yeah, that's for a
What did
few
you do?
good reasons. We kind of pissed him off a
What
bit.
didn't we do?
Yeah.
I would love to know a specific.
We landed on a planet that he was in control of, and in the process of getting away, because, he hates us, we, caused a bit of a ruckus, among other things. Yeah, he doesn't like us.
You're not quite as skilled at dodging questions as your bird friend, but
No, I never
it's not
said
too
I
difficult
was.
to work out.
I'm really bad at it.
Clearly. Still, capable fighters. Very capable fighters from our information. We know you escaped Elysium. You've avoided Starbane's forces many times. You've partnered up with quite the little scoundrel with Captain Whisperwind here. And you're going somewhere. You're going somewhere far away from Gideon Prime and far away from the Fey realms as she looks towards Lucius and Ayla. So where are you going, little lost birds? She kind of looks around all of you.
It's the one bird,
Zone
actually.
of truth. Zone of how? I'm just. How do I RP this?
Uh,
Well, I would say ideally not by looking up the spell. It's
No,
a
I'm
good way to
looking
not
at
RP this.
No,
to RP this.
Bar-
Yeah, you don't
I mean,
know.
You just can't.
Is this a spell
can't
that
lie.
Nova knows? You just can't lie.
It doesn't mean you have to answer the question.
Because what's the boundaries of a lie?
Not the truth.
Ayla just knows that she probably, it's one of those situations where she should just
Doesn't say anything.
just shut up, just don't.
Yeah, Thalia is doing the same thing. Thalia hasn't said a word since this began. She's just doing this. And just has her arms folded. And the little
Lucius
snake's
is
like...
getting
Nova's-
his breath back from being winded.
Yeah, you were being winded.
Yeah.
She
Nova's
probably
trying to
looks
copy
towards
Thalia.
Sentry. Yeah,
Nova's
she
trying to
looks at
copy
Sentry.
Thalia, but probably not looking as confident.
Skilled. Your silence will not do much. Wherever you're trying to go, you won't get there if we don't help you.
Home.
Very truthful, very honest answer. But you don't have a home. The Guardians were destroyed eons ago. So where do the Guardians call home now? Very
We
well.
still live on.
You are not going to tell me this answer. I can tell that. Well, not unless I make you. But I don't think we're there yet. Come. The matron wishes to meet with you to discuss the events that are taking place. You, and she points at Lucius, you will watch your manners. Do not speak to her unless she speaks to you. And with that, she turns, and the other drow basically form up around you, and they begin to cajole you into to leave the room. Is anybody doing anything, or do you want to resist?
Nope, I don't think we're in a position to do much.
I don't think
No.
so.
Tom's looking. I can tell. He's looking at spells.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, I've used all of my 5th level spell slots. I was going to do a mass cure wounds and, ask them first, can I at least just heal my friends? But with a level 5 heal on everybody, that's outside of... I guess we're leaving the zone of truth anyway, right?
yeah, you would be, yeah.
Okay, so either way. Can I at least recover some of these cuts and bruises on myself? Just me.
She looks at you. The matron probably will not spare her magic to heal you. Yes, you may, but be warned, if you try anything, I will have my brother here slit your throat and hang you out to dry like the ready meal that you are.
Oh. I'm not delicious, just as a warning. I'm not very tasty.
I'd never know unless I try.
Although people keep trying. So, anyway, I'm going to heal myself.
Sure.
Um,
You watch, and as
So,
you cast the spell, she watches your hands, your gestures, your words very carefully. But yeah, you can cast the spell, and nothing happens.
cool. I'll do a 4th level as well.
Sure.
Because I'm very wounded, by the way.
Yeah, that's why she's letting you do it. She can
18.
see that you're heavily injured.
Nice, 18 healing on me, DY. And then I've got nothing special outside of that. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't dead the moment she looks at me.
It is appreciated that you make yourself presentable before the matron. She would have forgiven you for a few cuts and bruises, but this sort of manner is befitting. And she
Good
turns.
manners.
Yeah, you are led into several corridors. You notice that there are multiple arcane glyphs and wards. You can see guards all dressed in a similar nature. And you can hear what sounds like a bar or some sort of, inn above you, but it's muted, heavily muted down here. But you are led into a very opulent-looking office, a rich desk made of black marble, tipped with silver spiders crawling up the legs. There is silken webs that hang like drapes from the ceiling. And sat in a very royal-looking throne, dressed in these elegant, almost like a power suit, like a black, very low-cut V-necked suit, is a older drow woman. Purple skin, white hair. You can see that she has a circlet, which kind of has like silver spiders at her temples that keeps her long white hair from falling in front of her face. Very immaculately dressed, and she appears to be writing several papers as you enter. The drow men immediately look at the floor and go to their knees as soon as they come in the room. And the woman that led you in bows her head. Matron, I have brought you the Grazet's guests, shall we call them. I have asked them my questions. I believe that they do not pose any immediate threat to us or to the Queen. We may discuss with them as we need to. I believe that they need our assistance as much as we can benefit from their situation. Yes, thank you, my dear. And she looks up, and you can see that her eyes... the other drow that you've met, they all have these kind of red irises, kind of like, circles around their eyes, not like natural colors. They're all mainly red. Hers are gold. They're like rims of gold with tiny white pupils. And she looks up and casts a very Meryl Streep kind of eyebrow look at all of you. A kind of... She lingers for a moment on Lucius and Quill, who I'm assuming are not kneeling when you come in the room.
No, I mean, we have no reason to, right? Like,
no, exactly.
Yeah.
She just looks, her gaze lingers for a minute, and then she just kind of... So, you are probably all wondering why I have sent my people to assist you. I am Matron Ilhares. I expect you to treat me with utmost respect. This is my daughter, Fyra. This, and she gestures to the man that brought you in, is one of my male children, Jevan. You have caused quite a stir and angered the Prince of Pleasure greatly. This is useful to me and to my goddess. You are not familiar with Azagorat, are you, outsiders? You may speak.
Matron Ilhares, should we be sorry, not really sure of the custom here. And Nova's kind of bobbing awkwardly.
Yeah. It would be appreciated. I value respect, especially from lessers. And her eyes linger on Quill and Lucius when she says that.
Oh.
Okay.
Lucius folds his arms.
I mean,
you see Fyra, the drow that brought you here, is like, her face is just contorted in like rage at this. But the matron isn't. She kind of looks at you with a cool coldness. It has been some time since a man has displayed such fragrance.
Did I not put cologne on?
You think you are very clever.
He mutters to himself.
I have encountered countless males like you. Countless beings that thought that they were too good. I can assure you, and she stands up, and she begins kind of like sauntering towards Lucius. Yeah, go on.
It's not that I don't respect. The customs are strange when they're demanded without... You know that we're not from this place.
She strokes your face. Would you like to get to know our customs?
I feel like I'm going to anyway.
Not ideally. I'm afraid that we don't have the time for playing. She turns back. Grazit is currently enraged at whatever you have done. Whatever actions you have done to displease him. It has not happened in centuries. He cannot stand the idea of being denied something. Which gives us an opportunity. But it has also placed a number of very difficult obstacles in your escape from Azagorat. I would like to assist you in escaping the planet.
And in return?
Perhaps one day you will repay the favor when it is asked, but for now I expect nothing. Your presence is useful. Your distraction is useful.
If I may ask, Matron, why do you not like the prince?
Like has nothing to do with it, my dear. I have been in Zelatar for many centuries. I have alleviated myself to many of Graz's pleasures here in the city, but my goddess is my true purpose, serving her. She controls a city not far from here, a whole region of Azagorat, as do many of the other demon princes. There is a fierce rivalry amongst them all. Most of them are too chaotic to be dealt with. Graz is insidious. He knows the value of subtlety more than the others do. This alliance he has formed with Valkyrian has cemented him a stronger position here on the planet. A position that my goddess would be very pleased to see diminished in some way.
May
You
I
are-
ask, who your goddess is?
Of course. I serve the great spider goddess herself, Loth. As do many of my people here on Azagorat. She is an old power, far greater than Graz, but she has been bound by certain actions in the past. You are very quiet, guardian. Even as old as I am, it has been, well, even just the stories of your kind have seemingly vanished from much of the multiverse thanks to that accursed child Valkyrian.
So it would seem. You're now the second person to tell me that.
There is something about you. You carry considerable power within you.
So do you. Why do you dwell underground?
My people have always preferred the darkness to the cold, hard light of the sun or light, whatever you call it. But also my duty is to serve as the eyes and ears of my goddess. My agents, my children serve a similar purpose. We are here to destabilize, to gather information, as we do on many great things. There is no better place to do that than from the shadow.
I suppose that is correct.
Yes, my dear. You are full of questions, aren't you? Very much like your
Yeah.
race.
Oh, yeah.
Strange.
Oh,
A Ganassi who does not serve the Valkyrian Empire. Very
yeah, there's a few of
strange.
us.
Not that many, from my knowledge. Continue, you had a question.
Are you and your goddess aware of Hadar and how it's going to destroy pretty much everything?
We are. Hadar is a very powerful force. For now, Valkyrian is doing good work in keeping it at bay at best. But Hadar is also a power that even my goddess, if he becomes truly free, she may not even be able to stop. But we have our secrets and our ways. If Hadar is unleashed upon the universe, upon the multiverse, there are other places for us to go.
Oh.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, Nova?
Me.
Hmm.
Wisdom. Do I get a +3 from Centra?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26. Oh, that's a natural 20 plus a 6.
Nice.
Yeah, you feel her, these elegant, long, purple fingers. It's almost like you can feel her trying to get into your brain. You feel like a spider tickling over the back of your skull, trying to weave through your memories as she looks at you, her golden eyes piercing into yours. You are quite a strong-willed one. I was hoping to find out the mystery behind your oddity, but it seems that you possess a strong mind. So, I mentioned that there are some obstacles in your way of leaving the planet. I think that I will give you some time to consider your options. Perhaps rest, and then we shall see about getting you off of Azagarat, shall we not? She looks.
And you'll call upon us later, I suppose.
Well, no, you will need to remain here. This facility, this building, is protected against interplanar travel, teleportation, scrying. Graz will not be able to find you here. I suggest you do not leave it for your own safety.
I just mean after we leave the planet. Destabilizing
Oh, yes.
isn't enough
You
for
need
you.
You need not worry about that. I have plans that I will see done whilst Graz is busy. I suspect I will not make any illusions. You will be pursued by the Demon Prince. He will not forget what you have done. But that is what I'm counting on.
You won't be the only person pursuing us.
Indeed. You have been quiet, my dear. She looks at Ayla.
Katie has straight up had to work.
That's fine. I know you've
I'm
got a
being
lot on,
completely ignored by colleagues.
so-
I sorry. I got
That's
nothing
fine.
right now.
That's fine. She turns and gestures. You currently face 3 major obstacles. The first is that Captain Thalia's ship has been tethered and is being guarded by a force of demons. You see Thalia just like, I was hoping that Graz wouldn't know which ship was mine. The second obstacle you face is Graz has numerous pursuit ships stationed nearby. Even if you were to make it into astral space, you would be very quickly pursued and overwhelmed by them. And then the third issue is, in response to Graz's proclamation, a force net has been projected over the port. Ships will not be able to leave until it is disabled. My agents can help you deal with some of these problems. But you will need to decide what you wish to handle, what plan you have. But I have resources available to assist.
What's the... In your expertise, Matron, do we have any chance of taking his ring of wishes?
Oh, no.
No.
No, unless you were to turn yourselves in, I suppose. You may, if one of you betrayed the others, you may be able to get it, but then the others would be in his clutches. And I promise you, you will not get away again. Gratz overestimated you before. He won't make that mistake again. That brings into question, actually, another point. Gratz himself is your greatest threat. If any of these demons guarding your ship alert Gratz where you are, he can teleport to you instantaneously. You will need to make sure that they do not get the opportunity to do so. And I may be able to have some of my agents use their illusory magic to perhaps throw up some false signals around the city. But yes, I'm afraid that ring was without some incredible cunning on your part, you were never going to win that ring. Gratz always rigs his games. He always has an upper hand. It's the problem with dealing with such creatures. He is a being of pure hedonism, selfish desire. He knows nothing of serving a greater purpose. There's no concept of honor or the like.
So,
Indeed.
force field, guards, ship.
Ships.
Yes. Force field is probably the first thing we need to figure out.
I would advise you to consider ways that perhaps you can deal with some of them simultaneously.
Okay.
Disabling the shield will alert that you are at the astral port. The guards will reinforce themselves. Gratz will not be far behind. Like I said, I have my daughter, my son, my other agents can assist you. They can take care of some of these problems, but you need to decide which is the priority to you, where your skills are best suited. I imagine the captain will wish to go to her ship.
Well,
Still, you need not decide now. I suggest you find a moment's rest. I have some rooms prepared for you. There will be food, but I would not recommend you remain here for too much longer after your rest is completed. They will be looking for you, and even I can only do so much to hide you.
okay.
Very well.
Okay, well,
Well,
thank you for rescuing us, and thank you for giving us the guidance we need to actually get off this planet. Although,
you are...
I do have one question.
Yeah.
What opportunities does our destabilization offer you? What are your plans now?
Why concern yourselves with these things? It will only harm Gratz and his interests here. I'm afraid that such secrets are not for anyone, not within my goddess's circle. I have my own secrets to keep after all.
Okay.
She nods. And yeah, you are led back outside by Jevan, the male drow. And he leads you to a very comfortable suite. It is one big room. There are multiple beds in it. There is also tables for food. There's basins for like washing yourselves. But it is one shared room, and he takes up guard outside the door once you are let inside. Yeah, you guys have the room to yourself.
Long restable?
Yeah.
Because that'll be the first long
Quill.
rest we've had since we got here. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to do the thing on the thing? And I'm pointing at Wraither. The thing on
The
thingy.
thing on... Oh, if you
Yeah,
mean this If you mean that thing on that thing, then no.
That thing.
I can't.
Thingy.
Thingy. I can
Yeah,
do multiple
that.
thingies on multiple themies.
Okay.
Can you cast Greater Restoration on the elf?
My God. For our podcast.
Not yet. Not
Lucius
yet.
is going to
I
be
thought you were talking about the eye.
stiffly walking around in a massive huff. And he's just going to walk up to the table and he's going to like,
Yep.
and really look at a cup, contemplate for a long time, and then timidly knock it over.
Ting, 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 ting.
Lucius.
Are you okay there, Lucius?
Are you not sick of this? Sick of these people in their positions of power exploiting everybody else?
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the Drow or the Demon Prince or
Everyone.
Zax
Everyone.
or Valkyrian Empire? Okay.
These trivial disputes, these vies for domination over a planet, throwing us into the mix every single time, it's all trivial. Trivial matters. When we are trying to do greater good, these people just want to claim some land for themselves and use us to do that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing it since my childhood. I'm sick of them, my rival family back at Gusthaven doing it to my family. Sick of it.
I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to fight against. It's just we're not going to be able to stop it by just taking down Valkyrian or the Starbane Empire or anything like that. It's going to happen everywhere. But we can at least stop the worst one.
I'm just angry. I will get over it. I'm going to pick up the mug and put it back.
Yeah. You upright it into a normal position.
And dust it off.
I understand what you mean, Lucius. It's frustrating. There's so much more that matters. Unfortunately, small people live small lives, and this is what's important to them. And it sucks that
No
we keep
one's
getting
lives
caught up
are
in it.
small. Many innocent people have died over petty disputes, my family included. I will pay no part in it.
Unfortunately, we have to kind of play the part in this if we're going to get off of this planet.
I definitely understand what you're saying, Lucius. It's why I've been living the way that I have for so long, but Nova is also right. Without these Lolth worshippers' help, I don't see how we can get off of Azagrat. I know it's frustrating, believe me, but I want to get my ship and I want to get as far away from here as I possibly can. I don't know if we can do it without their help.
I apologize. The zone of truth, it took me over and I couldn't hold it in.
No,
I will
quite
not
honestly, Lucius.
impede our progress.
I like that, Lucius. I was a big fan of that Lucius knocking over a cup. I honestly wish he'd smashed more. I think that's quite hot, actually.
Not that part, but I think
Stop
that
it.
you should
Lucius
get
blushes.
angry again, more often because it's quite useful, and I think that this will help you in your fighting.
No, it's not dignified, and it would rip my suit.
Dignified or
Don't
not,
wanna see you getting punched anymore.
it gets things done. You'd make a good astral captain with a bit of time, I think. A bit more of Lucius knocking over mugs rather than Lucius panicking about things. But
Anyway, enough about me. So, how are we going to solve this mess?
Well, untethering a ship, getting rid of their pursuit ships, and also removing a net of some kind to stop all ships from leaving. It's a lot. It's a lot to do with a lot of resistance. But, I mean, we've got all of their help, I suppose. But is it... Are we splitting up to do this?
I
I'd
think
like
we
not
might
Well, they
to.
said
If
to
you
do
want-
what we were good at, right? Nova, do you think that the net is something that you might be able to deal with? You're clever.
I could threaten it, like I did with that Durgar. Did you see me, Ayla?
That was really good.
You
I was
threatened a
actually
dwarf.
really proud of you. So, you know what? Nova, being a badass, jumped up on this guy, put Tiangong to his neck, and was all, hey, You won't get to wish on anything if you're dead. And it was
Whoa.
great.
No shit.
Yeah, right? Yes, she did.
Yeah, I was shaking inside, and I think I weed myself a little bit. But I was looking at Ayla, and Ayla, like, I channeled Ayla. I was like looking at Ayla, and I was like, "We're so screwed if we don't get out of this." So I just channeled my inner Ayla, and I flexed, and I definitely wet myself just a little bit.
Nova,
Made
you're a
your
terrifying
progress.
monster. Well done.
Don't say that. But yeah, I'm sure I could do something technological. I might need to. Do you think this Lolth has any books on the technology here? But yeah, sure.
I wouldn't count on it, my dear. No, I don't think that's really their sort of cup of tea, I would say. I know a little bit about these drow and these Lolth worshippers. They're zealots. They're utterly paranoid and very, very secretive. Espionage on all sorts of different planets. Their spies are some of the best, able to disappear and conjure darkness as they wish. It's funny, we've seen the kind of horrors that are here on Zelatar. The drow they're a paranoid people, and they're a very stern, quite strict people, as you've seen. But, yes, technology isn't really their sort of thing. They're more fanatics to their goddess. She really rules over everything they do. It encourages all of their culture. I know quite a lot of them left centuries ago. They used to have quite a lot of issues with my people on Lunaria, but a group of them, a whole city of them, left to go and found a new colony elsewhere. They followed another drow woman, Elistari, something like that. Some sort of freedom fighter, some sort of rebel, a daughter of Lolth. They followed her and set up shop somewhere else, I think. But the ones here, I didn't expect to see them in the city, but they're known for being absolutely devoted to their goddess.
So sounds like I should probably be a part of Team Force Field. Yay.
I mean, we might be able to get 2 in 1 if the force field only lets us through and doesn't stop their pursuit ships from following us. And does stop their pursuit
That's a
ships.
good idea.
And that's
Yeah.
2 in 1.
Could somehow
Now we're talking.
do that. Yes, that would be incredible if we could lock them out of their system somehow.
Yeah, maybe even if I figure out an algorithm that locks down a timer on it, so we have a time to get out, and then it just shuts off again. Yeah,
Risky, but it
I could
could
do that.
work.
That'd work.
Yes, that could at
And
least.
we don't know
at
how
least
this
then we
ship
only have
is-
to. Go on, Quill.
Sorry? Oh,
So go on, Quill.
as long as we figure out how the ship is tethered down, if it's magically, then, well, one of me and Lucius can figure that out. And if it's mechanically, then, well, Ayla and Sentry can smash it out.
I can't imagine that they would be able to do it magically if there's a force of that sort of immense power that can stop any ships from leaving the port. I don't think they'd have enough energy to be able to use a magical way of tethering it. It's probably physical. They probably have something physically
Could
attached
you-
to the ship keeping it.
Is Kyrie still on board, and can you communicate with her?
I've been trying to, but the ship has a system I can't communicate her while it's in its lockdown state. The procedure, if this ever happens, because we do have one, was that her, Bim, and Big Cat are hidden. I now have a number of cubby holes on the Twin Star that someone can hide in. The idea is that they hide on board, and at the right moment. Oh yes, he doesn't like it very much. It's quite a small space, but if need be, they can hide whilst I am arrested or taken prisoner or too drunk, whatever it happens to be. And they hide, and then when it is necessary, they can reveal themselves and jump on the guns, lower the door, and get us inside if need be. But so she should still be there, I imagine. Yes, Lucius.
So, altogether, how about we utilize these wonderful people holding us here as a distraction from the guards, giving us time to get to the port, and then we use each of our means. Nova, if you can use your force field ways to get us up. Everyone else goes into the ship, and then maybe the rest of us stall anybody coming towards the ship.
Yes, that seems
Gratz, who
reasonable.
can instantly teleport to where we are.
So we need to... My suggestion would be, they've assumed our form, did they not? Just before we got taken into the tunnel. Could they not assume our form and cause all of them to go in that direction? While we go
That's what
towards
she,
the port.
she suggested, something like that, yes.
Why don't we do that? So Gratz will teleport to them and not us. And hopefully by then we'll be away.
One small suggestion before we get some rest. You all came to this planet because of my suggestion. Whatever danger has been my fault. Nova, if you can... You have a crystal slab, yes? You have a data slate.
Yes, I do.
See if you can work out something that I can take. Let me deal with the tower. If anything happens, at least Kyrie can still get you on the ship, and Quill's been watching me fly it. He could take the Twin Star.
No.
If necessary. But rather than yourself,
I'll go with
Nova, yourself on your own, well, I just fear that we'd then be leaving your companions without your assistance. I could have the
fine.
drow
I trust
come
the
with me.
bird, but I don't trust the bird to fly the spaceship. I don't trust anyone other than you to fly that ship. You're coming with us.
Two-handed
Let
system.
me be clear about something. I have no intention of nobly sacrificing myself. If I can get back to my ship, I will. But the idea of if you have to fight something on that ship, in that shipyard, it is better that you are all together. You understand how each other fight. It is far better that you all fight together. And let me and the drow take care of the tower. Nova can prepare her algorithm as she suspects. I can install it. I know Magitech as well as she does. At least then, you are all together. I don't wish to see you split up again. I have seen you divided numerous times now, not knowing if your friends that you've been with for who knows however long are alive or dead, and that's not something I wish on my conscience, if I'm honest.
But you're one of our friends. And also, I have Arcane Gate. I can get back as fast as I can. What happens if something happens that I didn't think of? What if there's a new protocol? What if there's, I don't know, there's some algorithm that comes up that needs solving? You won't be able to deal with that. I will. You can come with me, but you're not going
Fine.
on your own.
Well, if that's what you wish. Obviously, it's 5 against 1. I can only put my argument. But
We
I
came
just
here
do not
because
want
you
to...
asked. We didn't come here because you forced us to. If anything, I'm sorry we couldn't get the ring for you. I know what it means to you.
It was foolish. I should have known that Gratz wouldn't have played fair. I thought that perhaps with the powers that I've seen Quill use, perhaps we had an advantage, but it was foolish of me. I am what I am, and that's never going to change. I see that now, but I don't wish to see you separated again, if that makes sense. I've known separation. I know what it's like to be separated from the people you care about permanently. It is not a fate I
Me
wish on
too.
any of you. Let us sleep on it and see what happens in the morning, shall we?
Yes, I think that's best for everybody. We've been through a lot today.
Yes, we have.
Yes. And with that, that's where we'll end today's episode because we've got to end early. So
Oh boy.
Correct.
Still another
Yes.
operation to do before we get off this
Operation to
damn
do.
planet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you'll be free
You'll
to
be
go home.
Ish.
Being chased by everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
those of you on Yogscast, we're going to have to wrap up on Yogscast pretty much now. We're not going to read out any donations or stuff on Yogscast because folks have got to get ready for a stream coming up at 8. So we're going to end on
Yes.
Yogscast now, and then we're just going to continue reading out donation messages and talking about the game over on High Rollers D&D. So if you're on High Rollers D&D, stick around. We're going to read donation messages and chat and stuff. And then Yogscast people, if you want to come join us for 10 minutes while they get set up, you can come do that on High Rollers
Come
D&D
on
Twitch
over.
chat.
Yep.
Come on over.
Yogscast,
So,
there's a sponsored stream for Ubisoft. I know a few people have been asking, but
Ubisoft
starting at 8
Forward.
p.m. So
Yeah.
Ubisoft Forward.
And if you enjoyed it, check out all our campaigns on YouTube and Spotify and everywhere else.
Yeah.
please
Talk
do.
about it more on
Try
High
it.
Rollers D&D. So come on
End
over.
us on
and
the
we'll
odds.
see you then. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, yogis.
And they're gone. We're still here. High Rollers D&D.
Definitely ended on
What a
Yogscast, y'all.
Bunch of
Cool.
Oh,
And yeah,
double
Yogscast, High Rollers chat. We are going to play the fan art video at the end. We just didn't, we gotta wrap it up for High Rollers for Yogscast.
Yeah.
So
Stick around
I'll-
for fan art video.
I'll be
Yeah.
playing it until I make another one on multiple streams, so don't worry about that.
cool. There
It'll
we
also
go.
be
Nice.
uploaded to YouTube as well.
Great stuff, guys. This is one of those episodes where I'm glad that Elven Drow Rescue Squad was cool and wasn't too railroady.
Very
It was just
cool.
one of those ones of
I
like,
loved it.
That was really
you guys are
Great.
fucked.
I was-
If you guys have to
Oh,
fight
no,
the
it
city,
was-
you're
terrified.
fucked.
No,
Yeah.
like
I was-
when
I
you
was
when you
thinking,
said
like-
that, when you said that it started stabbing the demon, I was like, oh my god,
So
we have a
cool.
chance.
Very
Well, yeah, 'cause
badass.
for that
It's also
Cinematic.
really badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that split second,
Well,
I was
'cause
like, oh no, more bad people.
I-
Oh no.
I hadn't clocked that when I started revealing them on the map, you guys would assume they were bad guys, which I know you did because you were like, "Oh my god," you were
Yeah.
like freaking out, and I was just like,
I was,
"Oh yeah, they think
terrified.
they're bad guys, don't they?" Oh shit!
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
Yeah. No, the way that you did the fog and them appearing like that, and
Yeah.
then them turning into looking like Lucius Quill
you
and Sentry and
guys.
stuff and running away. Like,
That's cool.
oh my god, such a cool vision.
Goosebumps.
There's certain
Okay,
moments
cool.
which just conjure imagery very easily, and that was one
good,
of them.
good.
Yeah.
I'm glad because I know like some people will be like, railroading, and I'm just like, yeah,
Don't think
because
anyone-
otherwise
I
this
think
would be a
everyone was just
miserable
blown
ending.
away. I think everyone
Yeah,
was
I think
just
I'm
I-
glad
I-
you guys enjoyed it. I think
Yeah.
I mean,
audience
I was
like
like that
it's-
when the 20 demons turned up. I was like, "What? This
Well-
is unwinnable."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like when
Yeah.
when I was looking at it and prepping the session, I'm like these things can literally teleport at will, and you've got a whole
Yeah.
town which isn't on your side. They're gonna be like,
Steam
they're
town.
here, they're right here. Come and get them,
Yeah.
demons. They're here. Wait, give me money. Give me free chips to spend
Yeah.
in the casino, please. They're here. And so the demons are just like teleport, 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 teleport. Oh, there they are. And then it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Good shit.
Very cool
Yes.
episode.
Go on then, Thomas.
right, yeah.
Yep, just trying to find where I was. There I was. Stitch Indigo. Sorry, Kim, did you want to say about the gift subs as well? I think I heard you gasp for a second there.
No, I was gonna fill the time. The only thing is I've lost the message, so you go. Where is it?
Okay,
Nightjar message.
I will
stuff,
carry
and
on.
I've lost it.
I'll carry on. Stitch Indigo with a quarter hundo. Once again, Matt delivers the action and excitement. Hope Sailor's okay.
Fuck's sake. way to start.
Nightjar with a heart. Thank you very much. Lovely Nightjar. Das Dank. Chains are broken. Now we take the means of production for Alfheim. Thank you very much.
Sees the means of production.
Danny Dynamo with $30 dues. Thank you very much. This just starts with so much. When Sentry used her channel divinity, I just imagined her standing there channeling the Prime Core and all of the fallen souls of the Guardians standing behind her.
Cool.
That's cool.
Oh, cool.
That's a cool
Oh.
image. I think that's definitely
Yeah.
like super high level Sentry abilities will just be like, conjuring all these cool Guardian spirits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming out of the fog, surrounded by soldiers.
Making a note of that one.
Yeah. Mills with $63 dues. Thank you very much. That's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot.
thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Raging Rhino 10101. This is epic. Thank you.
Epic.
Amy the
Thanks.
Irish. Amy the Irish with, hello everyone. I start the first part of my zoo course tomorrow and I'm very nervous. Do not worry, you'll do great.
Sounds
This week's
amazing.
zoo fact, flamingos can live up to 70 years and a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
Yeah, I love
No,
it.
that's
Oh,
not
that's
true.
a good one.
I know a cool thing about flamingos in that there is a lake that I can't remember the name of it, but only flamingos can live in it, basically, because it's so hot and acidic or alkaline that it calcifies creatures that fall into it. But because of the flamingo's legs are all scaly and bone, it doesn't. So they can feed in it and they use it and drink from it and stuff. They also have a special gland which they filter out all the bad stuff in the water, so they can drink this poisonous water.
They got a Brita filter.
Cool. Yeah,
They
basically.
can drink poisonous water. Wow.
Brita
Nice.
birds.
These
That's
ones,
pretty
cool. Not all of them, I think, but some of them. Brita bird.
There
There you go.
Herzog Al Bill Kazak donating again to have Tom mispronounce my handle again. Sorry. Keep the fun going. Well, there you go. Maybe I did it better that time. I don't know. Sabrina with a quarter
Probably
hundo. Happy Sunday, High Rollers. I couldn't resist donating today because Ree looks like an angel.
Angle.
Aww.
Like an angle.
Oh, you do it, especially with those
I can
green
be your
lights.
devil.
You look
you're
like a cute angle.
Aw.
Thanks,
Chromium
Aaron.
246. Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you for being you. No, thank you. It's very easy being me. Starting a new campaign after this that I got into through your Discord. Oh, well, that's
Nice.
awesome. Thank you for creating such an amazing community and for being the amazing people you are. Yes, everyone, please check out the High Rollers Discord. There's a lot of really cool people all looking to play some really cool games of really cool D&D. Do that.
Or just hang out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just chill.
Yeah.
Talk about the campaign.
Just
say how
chill.
much you hate Quill. One-Eyed Willie with a quarter hundo. Hello. My internet connection is a bunch of butts today, to the point that the stream keeps dropping. Looks like I'll fill in the gaps later. Yep, you can check out the board for the podcast.
Yeah.
But TYVM. Natalie Hawthorne
TY.
with another hundo.
Wow.
Continuing
Oh,
the
Nat.
streak
Thank you.
from
Wow.
yeah, continuing the streak throughout all these weeks. I just want to thank Trot and Kim for getting me into this mess of a show in the first place. I've made so many friends in this fandom the last 4 years. I've become a better D&D player from watching you play and a better DM
Aw.
from following Mark's example. I think you mean Matt. But thank you very much for the donation.
Max.
You don't understand. This is a real problem, and you're just making it worse for me. It's a real problem.
I
Shouldn't
have
have
actually
mentioned
seen a
it.
few tweets about it, and it just saying Matt.
Just
and I'm
don't
like,
get
"What?"
it.
It says it right there, though.
The campaign is run by Matt. The stream is run by Alex Smith.
Or Angry Tom today after the shirt. People were saying it was. They're like, oh, is Tom Clark?
Yeah, and I'm Tom Bates.
Wow.
Varys with a donation and no message. Thank you very much. Mudkip with a message. Tom, c'est moi, Led Mudkip, the one and only. I hope you congratulated the one and only Tim and Shannon on their fantastic victory. You might have caught me as a Sea King. Wait, Mudkip was a Sea King! I remember now! Oh.
After this whole fucking show you've done, and now you remember it. What the fuck is this? No. Fuck off. Why? Why do you hate me?
Nice. You might have called me as a Sea King, but like a supple robe, use disguise self. I'm Mudkip, I'm slippery and mysterious. Thank you very much, Mudkip.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it was a wonderful victory.
Oh.
Jawadi
It
18.
was.
Do you guys make a point of trying to get the whole multiverse on your back, or is it just a hobby? I'm going a bit mad after not being able to play D&D for over a fortnight. Yeah, I mean, we're really
talent.
good at making enemies.
The skill.
It's
It's like
talent.
You are
Pokemon,
very
now you got to
skilled
catch
at
them all.
Got to catch all the bad guys.
Got to catch them all.
Darth Day 41. Lucius Smashes Cup. I am a barbarian now. Happy High Rollers Day.
Yeah, I'll put a point in barbarian.
Yeah. Hanark with $18 reduce. Thank you very much. Twice, actually. So thank you for both the donations. But I just, yesterday, finished the episode that talked about wishes. Don't know if you have them or not, or used them already, but I have the perfect wish.
Oh, do you?
Luscious wish for all the friends and family lost along the way to be back with you alive and well. Follow-up donation. This is the second one. Tom, fucking follow-up donation. This could bring back the campaign and the first mate of the Sparrow Blade. Should bring back the two priests of Siaska, the dead father from Senna's job, the goblin Bim, Luscious's father, and Mother, and maybe Vala. She has lost 2 then. Yeah, well, I mean, I did go through all of that, and at no point did I say, yeah, no, bud, sorry. Yeah, no.
Sure,
we
that
didn't get
sounds
'em.
like a really lovely wish. If you had the ability to gain wishes, that sounds great.
Here's all the
Best
things
out of
I'd
3.
wish for. If I had some!
Yeah. If I had some, here's where I'd keep this. If I had one. Only 90s kids will understand that reference.
It's a 9th level
Yeah,
spell. I'll get there.
Yep. You'll get there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is the final donation. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you everyone that jumped in from the Yogscast Twitch as well. From
Yeah,
TK.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Hello,
it.
IBM.
Been some good streams recently in
Yeah.
terms of like new folks coming in.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty much it for this week. We will be back on, I'm guessing, Tuesday. Will there be a Chaos Twins on Tuesday?
There won't be. There won't be this Tuesday. The week after, though.
No Chaos Twins this week, but there will be Curse of Strahd on Thursday. So you can catch us
Oh,
for
yeah.
D&D during that.
Oh yes.
Until then, that's
Before
pretty
we
much
go,
it, really.
we got some gifty subs. We got some
okay.
gift subs, a whole bevy of gift subs from D Miller 1841, Adam Mills, Cooper Ork, Cardrian 232, Disco Droids, and Stitch Indigo. We also got some bits. Thank you from Morg Smesh, who apparently says, "You young adventurers inspired this old wizard to restart his campaign with old friends after 37 years. It has begun."
Whoa!
Wow,
That's
you sound-
amazing.
37 years.
And bits as
Oh.
well
37
from
years.
Hrisar. First impression, asking the people who saved you if another person has all their bits. Impressions seem good.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Cool. That is going to be it for us this week. Thanks for joining us. We're going to play the fan art video.
Fart.
And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Stay safe. Look after yourselves.
Bye.
Wear masks.
Fading us
Wear your
out.
masks.